Ти хлопець вродливий, і ти це знаєш. Нелегко й красиво в кохання граєш. Ти поруч проходиш, не помічаєш. На мене уваги ти не звертаєш. Але чекати я більш не буду. Тебе зустріну і будь-що буде. Будь-що буде, ти оглядаєшся неохоче. Будь-що буде, і я дивлюсь тобі прямо в очі. Будь-що буде, я дивлюсь тобі увагу люди. Кладу я руки тобі на груди. І тихо шепчу, будь-що буде. Будь-що буде, ти оглядаєшся неохоче. Будь-що буде, і я дивлюсь тобі прямо в очі. Будь-що буде, нехай звертають увагу люди. Кладу я руки тобі на груди. І тихо шепчу, будь-що буде. Будь-що буде. Будь-що буде. Що буде, буде. Що буде, буде. Ти хлопець вродливий, а я звичайна. Для тебе не диво, дівоча тайна. Все зважу востаннє і все не варто. Дівоче кохання, для тебе жарти. Але чекати я більш не буду. Тебе зустріну і будь-що буде. Будь-що буде. Будь-що буде. Будь-що буде, буде. Що буде, буде. Будь-що буде, ти оглядаєшся неохоче. Будь-що буде, і я дивлюсь тобі прямо в очі. Будь-що буде, нехай звертають увагу люди. Кладу я руки тобі на груди. І тихо шепчу, будь-що буде. Будь-що буде. Що буде, нехай звертають увагу люди. Що буде, буде. Що буде, буде.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Role, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, we do!
I realize someone's got mail on Drag Race.
That was like standing in the back going 3, 2, 1, and Trav's the only one who jumped in.
Yeah, no, well done then. So welcome, guys. Before we jump into tonight's episode, we have some announcements to get through. First and foremost, returning once again this week, our fantastic partners and sponsor for the beginning of this campaign, D&D Beyond. Awesome Dungeons and Dragons tool for use for your campaigns, whether it be a DM or a player. And Sam, do you have something to say about that?
Hey, our partner this week is D&D Beyond. That's www.dndbeyond.com. They'd like to invite critters to check out And Beyond, the monthly developer update and Q&A session for D&D Beyond. D&D Beyond product director Adam Bradford will share the latest thing the team is working on and answer questions from the community. The next stream will take place tomorrow, the 16th of February at 11 p.m. No, 11 a.m. Pacific. Check it out at twitch.tv/D&D Beyond. And to celebrate, I'm giving out a prize tonight. It's another contest. All of you can play. And here's the rules. Using D&D Beyond, you have to create a character right now, a level 3 character. Any character, go.
That's all around? Hang on, it's loading, it's refreshing. You should give us warning. I did it.
Oh, damn it!
No.
Wait, I don't see it. It's there.
Wait,
she did it.
I did it.
I did it! Sphincter!
Oh, you know what? No, I don't know how to call it.
I have 138 hit points.
Wow. Wait, at a level 3?
Yeah, wrong. I'm Callus.
She's
I have
level
25 hit points. Callus, 25 hit points. Already done, right there.
All right, Taliesin. But see how easy it is to create a character with D&D Beyond?
I level 100. Earth elemental.
And
but this
I'll
is
give you a
a
hint.
character.
Your prize is attached to my mug.
Oh no. Oh. Wait, no, leave it.
Oh shit.
Put it back on, dude, properly.
Life
Going for it.
What do you get? You're taking it.
Eomita Deep Hollow.
Did you just?
Congratulations. Yeah, you hit randomize your turn.
See how easy it is? We all created a character in like 25 seconds.
This random character that I just created is
I'm actually really impressed
really
with this
fucking
right
cool.
now.
Oh, I don't have
The
Sphincter
name
next
is-
to Kayla now.
It really named it Sphincter?
Yes. That's the name I gave them. That's as
you
far
did
as I got. Delete. Oh, there goes Caleb.
Oh, what is your name? Panalananam.
Panlanan.
There are 4 N's in that name.
I am Panlanan, the wood half-elf blood hunter.
What was yours?
Callus.
Callus? And what was yours, Laura?
I was a level 15 fire gymnast.
Her name was Alight?
Lights.
I am Eomita
cool, right?
Deep Hollow, Lightfoot Halfling Fighter.
Dude, my abilities are balls, though. Like, I have a 5 dex and a 4 wisdom. That's sad.
So we're
You
using those
suck,
characters from the
Panlan.
game.
Anything else with the 39-cent menu?
I'm awesome.
Are they better than fours?
You're a big
Well,
trouble.
there you go. Thank you very much, Sam. Congratulations, Taliesin.
Thank you really
And thank you to Beyond for being our sponsor. Quick reminder, those of you who have an Amazon Prime account, you can get a free subscription to the Twitch channel by just going through your actual, you do it through Twitch. You link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch name, and you are able to subscribe to one channel for free a month. So if you have not subscribed and you want to have the VODs available to you before they go up on YouTube, that's the way to do
Very
it
important.
for no additional charge. So check it out. Tox Machina.
Look at that. He rolled ones and one. I'm sorry.
Kids.
Sorry.
Sorry, Matthew.
It's okay. We haven't started yet, so technically it's a buffer. So Talks Machina, next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific, will be here on Twitch and Project Alpha, where our host, Brandon B. Foster, will discuss what happens and transpires in this episode tonight. So check it out next week on Tuesday. Let's see, the podcast of last week's episode is available for download. So for those of you who missed last episode or want to listen to it on your drive or commute, where you just like the audio to create your imaginationscape, last week's episode is available for download now wherever finest podcasts are located to be downloaded. Let's see. Are there any other major announcements from you
A little
guys?
thing that
Yeah.
is totally improvised. A couple of weeks ago, a critter named Courtney, forgive me if I'm getting that wrong, to tweet a picture of her with this scarf that she was making for Caleb, and she said made the hashtag scarves for Caleb. And then people just started talking about it. Like I retweeted because I thought it was awesome, and they came up with the idea to make scarves for Caleb, but not for me, to give to shelters, homeless shelters, to veterans, to anyone who needs scarves or hats or mittens. I think it's a great idea, and you would make me happy. This is beautiful. I love it. Thank you, but don't pile me up in scarves. Send them to people who need them. I just think it'd be a nice thing to do.
That's wonderful. That's awesome, guys. I love it. All right, and once again, 826LA, our fantastic charity, been supporting since the very beginning of this show, almost 3 years ago now. They do fantastic work. If you have the opportunity to give your time to it, or want to help donate, or at least just look up and see what they do, I recommend you do it. They are fantastic. So thank you guys. And unless anybody else has anything else to interject, I believe it's time for us to jump into tonight's episode of Critical Role. Welcome back. You guys are getting sloppy.
Yeah, she's on bend
You guys are getting Welcome back. So, last we left off, our gathering of friends have been traversing northward along the Amber Road with the distant destination of Zadash, one of the larger cities of the Vendalian Empire, as your destination. Upon traveling, you passed a caravan, spent an evening amongst trees, where you found a wayward cluster of wandering buffalo.
creatures.
That sounded
Like creatures. You continued northward for a second day, rushed on past sunset to rest in the city of Allfield, a small farming town that's along the way to Zadash. However, upon noticing that some of the buildings in the eastern side of town began to light up with what appeared to be flame, you began to approach rather rapidly, seeing members of the city citizens fleeing and screaming, and apparently there seemed to be some sort of attack. Upon going into the town, you realized that a number of these buildings were being set fire by an incursion of gnolls. You were immediately brought in by the Watchmaster Bryce, who offered to pay you for each set of gnoll ears that were brought to them, and you jumped into the fray, managed to kill quite a few, many of them still left with their quarry, it seems, which happened to be quite a number of bodies and or citizens still living that were dragged off into the ashen and cloud-covered night. Upon returning, many of you bruised, beaten, and at one point in danger of worse. You were given evening's rest at the Feed and Mead Tavern, and were told if you were interested in pursuing future coin and helping with the current conflict nearing the city, to go ahead and meet Bryce. Was it out by the Broad Barn?
The broad.
The broad barn.
That's why I wrote Broad Barn.
That is so.
I wrote Rod Barn.
It's a different place in town. So, you guys all bundled up into a singular room above the floor of the Feed and Mead. Found yourself exhausted, passed out, and got an evening's rest. So, you've all gotten a long rest, you've healed up, you've recovered your abilities, and as the uncomfortable warmth of the morning kicks in, with your small room and a number of warm bodies encompassing a very tight and not very drafty space, the partially humid early hours draw you from consciousness. You all begin to stretch your sore muscles and decide what endeavors await you with the new day. So, what do you guys want to do?
What do you guys want to do today?
That bed was not my favorite.
I liked it.
A little step.
You should try sleeping on the floor. It's actually really good. Just support.
It's good for your back. It's really true.
Yeah.
You use a pillow or you just like on the floor?
Pillow.
Do you have to pray over your swords or anything this morning?
No, that's everything's fine. They just sort of they do what they need to do.
Oh.
I just have to keep them clean.
Yeah, well, we were sharing a room one night, and Molly has a ritual where I think it's just part of his, custom.
Oh,
Yeah, he
interesting.
performs over his swords.
I have to take care of them, else they'll stop working, of course.
Sure.
Do you need to feed?
They do actually. Yeah, I've got to feed them some. Well, it's complicated. I don't like to go too deep into it, but I've got to use my bloodline on occasion. Actually, since we're already on the road, I should be honest. I wasn't entirely telling the truth when I talked to you that night.
No.
Well,
Stop it.
So honest.
What is
oh, you're just a bundle of truth too, aren't you?
what is a bloodline?
Oh, I suppose it's only fair. I did tell you that these swords are special and that they sort of use the blood of my family to activate themselves.
Yeah.
And I know I might have said I was from a long line of priests, and
Oh my god, you killed your whole family.
I didn't kill my whole family.
Oh, okay. Never mind, keep going. I'm sorry.
Our family were less the priests and more the sacrifices, and we may have stolen the swords and run. I've been trying to keep a bit of a a bit of a low profile when it comes to some of the authorities.
Yeah, I mean, for fear of your life, you ran.
It's been a long time, but I'd rather not run into them.
What gods were you being sacrificed to?
Oh, I couldn't tell. It was my parents. I was just a wee by the time that happened.
So is there a roving band of priests that are trying to find you right now?
Oh, I hope not. I mean, it's been a long time.
And where's home? Where's this place that you stole?
My parents never spoke of it.
And you got to
Somewhere out east.
the circus from that how?
Well, it was a bit of a mess, but just sort of ended up there eventually. Just looking for a place where I could rest, I suppose.
It's funny you gave me an answer, but you didn't really give me an answer.
Oh, I don't know you that well.
Kind of what he's been doing like this whole time.
That requires a drink.
I understand that sentiment. Trying to find a little respite, a little peace. Yeah.
It's a good place to be if you want to run but not run.
Are there any others of your family out there on the run?
Not that I've ever met.
Was it just your parents and you that were being sacrificed?
You know, I don't know. I never thought to ask.
Did they want to kill you or just take your blood?
Apparently they needed us alive for it, so there was that.
Oh, so it wasn't so bad. They just slowly
Doesn't
drained you.
sound that bad, right? Yeah, they're not gonna kill you.
So I was told.
I mean, isn't that kind of what you're... doing to yourself on like a daily
It is
basis?
what I do now. It's not that bad though. It's it doesn't leave a mark really.
You're in control of it. You're using it for yourself.
Oh yes, of course, and it can be very handy. Yeah, come in handy.
Does it have to be your blood?
Oh yes. Of our bloodline apparently.
Have you tried any other bloodlines?
Well, I cut a lot of people with them. Would you like to take a run at it? You could be lucky.
I'll save that for another day.
I had a funny feeling.
I'm tempted.
And what about you, Ford? Are you gonna vomit any seawater this morning? Oh, no, watch out!
Nah.
That could have been worth like 5 copper on the open road at one point.
I seem to have missed my calling.
Always could use a circus geek.
Any more, how'd you sleep? I guess, aside
Yeah,
from the
no,
crappy day.
I know what you're asking. I didn't have any other dreams. It was fairly
No
restful.
dreams at all?
None I care to speak of.
Do we think there's anything left of this town?
That is a question.
Anything left?
Yeah, it didn't seem like the whole thing was on fire.
No, we couldn't
right?
quite see it at night. That's true. Maybe we should go down and...
Yeah, I would like to take a walk and see what it is we hope to save.
You can steal some things.
Now...
Well, maybe we do that second, and first we take a walk.
Yeah.
Can we get paid? There was talk of paid.
I thought we already got paid.
Did we get paid?
I think last night
We did, but Molly was drinking, so maybe he does not remember.
he said he was going to bring the rest, I think. Later.
I gotta say, there's worse ways to make a living.
I counted 60 gold.
Yeah, Molly, didn't you say Bryce said it would come later?
Bryson said if you wanted to continue to help with this, and there was more money.
There was more money for that case.
Let's keep helping.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of, it's not a bad gig.
We could stay here forever and just kill gnolls.
That was very scary. One of them almost killed me.
But think about how good we would get over time.
That's true, the 10,000 hour rule?
Mm-hmm.
Not the Knoll killer.
And Jester, we kind of agreed not to put anyone in harm's way in an excessive manner, so
When did we agree that?
did we not?
I don't remember that either.
I don't recall making that arrangement.
Did we agree to that?
Maybe I thought that was an unspoken thing.
Oh. Usually when you agree to something, you have to say it out loud. Most of the time.
I believe you're right.
Unless it's like... we just agreed to it. You said it. You said it.
What did you agree to?
I can't tell. It's a secret. Oh, but she's serious about it. I can tell.
You're so good at this.
Well, my social anxiety is getting the best of me. I'm taking a walk. Goodbye.
As the door slams behind Caleb, briskly making his exit.
Do you want a donut this morning? It's a little more stale in the bag. I have to let you know.
I think I'm fine.
Do you want one?
Oh yeah, more donut for us.
All right.
Well, I guess we should greet the town.
Fair enough.
Wait, when did we say we were going to meet Bryce?
Why are you yelling?
I thought they were leaving.
Well, actually, I think they'll find us.
Yeah. Maybe we can just stand in the middle of the town and go, Bryce, until they show up, you know?
Well, in front of Broad Barn.
Okay, I have a question about this Broad Barn thing. Is Broad Barn like the name of an establishment? Or is Broad Barn an actual broad, like a very broad barn?
Very long barn.
It's a very big barn?
What if it's a street?
One direction.
Yeah, what
We
if...
didn't clarify, did we?
What if it's like a tavern named the Broad? I don't know, I got kind of confused
Broad
in his
Barn
delivery.
I bet we can ask the guy downstairs.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, he seemed nice last night.
We go downstairs.
Okay.
I'll follow for this.
Alrighty. So,
It's a Zork game.
Yeah.
We go down.
I know, apparently. All right, so you head downstairs to the only other real location within the mead and feed and mead tavern. You can go either way. There's Kroot still there off to the side. What appears to be one very, very dirty and ashy civilian who is currently like slowly scarfing a meal, kind of for the 1,000-yard stare. Looks like they had been probably close to the action and chaos the evening before. As you walk down, Kroot looks across and goes, "Hey, I see you're awake. Would you like breakfast?"
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
All right, it'll be about an hour, because it's just me.
An hour?
An hour.
All right.
It's just me.
Do you want some help?
I mean,
I'll come help you.
come on. Come on.
I'll go in for this if it means a faster breakfast.
All right, so the two of you jump in with Kroot, in what is a not very well-kept kitchen, but functional. You know, the gristle, who knows how long it's been there, might add the flavor, who knows.
A rating for the city of Los Angeles.
We'll put it at B in Panorama City.
Yeah.
So,
That's a joke.
yeah. So you guys go ahead and help out. It does manage to cut down the time for breakfast preparation, but eventually food is presented.
I want to, after we've cooked, I'm going to switch out his salt for his sugar.
Make a sleight of hand check.
I want to see if I see this. I don't, do I?
You two caught up in the meal making.
I'm so...
19.
Oh yeah, I definitely don't see this.
Yeah, and neither does Kroot. As you manage to do so swiftly, practiced like you've done this before in many other establishments in the past, maybe. But yes, so with that,
After we cooked.
right.
Gave us all diabetes. It's great. Yeah.
All right,
They're
so
going to taste real weird.
Yeah.
so as you guys finish your breakfast, finish your meal, the rest of the day is yours.
What does the town look like when we kind of step out?
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Front?
All right, so as you
How bad
emerge,
is it?
as you emerge from the tavern, and Caleb, you've already seen this. You see that the fires have now been reduced to maybe a dozen wide plumes of gray-white smoke on the eastern side of the city. It rises from the ashes and charred wood remains and wood frames where it appears some buildings used to be. It seemed much more dangerous and chaotic last evening, but looking at it now, the day, you can see it's no more than maybe a dozen buildings or so that were affected. They were just more centralized to cause the most chaos suddenly at that time of night. But you get the sense as soon as you look around that the folks of the city are on edge, understandably so. You see the people are trying to pick up their lives and move on in the face of what recently occurred. The very air just kind of holds this tension as you kind of look around you. People walk past you with sacks of grain and tools, their eyes wide, darting around for unseen danger, and kind of glancing past the two tieflings, immediately, instinctually, kind of step back a bit and make a wide berth. You watch children run from doorway to doorway, trying to stay out of the street as long as possible. It seems like it's trying to carry on, but it's going to be a process. Some folks are rummaging through the remains of the respective buildings. You glance over near where the central portion of your conflict last night took place, where the Candle Glow Tavern is. And there you see, kind of amongst the smoldering rubble of the inn, a single halfling man kind of sifts through the wreckage, a crown's guard helping him lift heavier beams, and you see as he plucks what he can of his former life from the rubble.
Should we go over and talk to him?
Sure.
Do we recognize this person?
You have not met this person, no.
You're a halfling too, so maybe you should talk to him.
Well, I'm not technically.
I want to walk over.
Okay. I'll join.
All right.
All right.
We'll just go over and scare the shit out of him.
I'm gonna just walk. Need a hand.
You look over there, you can see what a halfling man, maybe in his 5th decade or so, his ashy blonde hair, and looks to be a face cracked by smiling, though now too dour and soot covered to see any sort of smile on his face. As he kind of pulls through some of the rubble and he's making a small pile on the side, he looks up and goes, "Oh, right, can I help you?"
We were part of this commotion last night. We were wondering if you need a hand with anything right now.
Oh, I mean, if you don't, oh,
I'm taking off.
You don't have to. Okay.
Okay.
And as you kind of dive in, okay, you go ahead and spend the next 10 minutes or so kind of helping move through some of the heavier beams that collapse. There is still somewhat of a structure, mainly of the bottom floor, but a lot of the top secondary floor, the one that you were in last night, has fallen in over time, and so it's moving some of the bigger beams out of the way. As you're pulling through and kind of moving some of the larger pieces of the structure, the halfling man goes, I appreciate the help. Name's Thaddeus. Thaddeus Candleglow.
Oh, this was your place?
Was.
Oh, wow.
20 years since I was left this place. Built by my grandpaps Reedus.
Were you here when the attack happened?
Oh, I was here. And then when they all came in, I was gone. I wasn't about to stay around, and so big...
Did you happen to see where they came from?
Oh, I did not. I was in the process of cleaning dishes and dealing to a couple of my patrons. One of them, he points over to the rubble, and you can see what looks to be a skeletal body that's kind of been partially collapsed. I suppose Lehman's probably not going to be a regular anymore.
Oh, no.
You're going to rebuild, give him a fine plaque.
Rebuilding requires something called money. I think I'm probably going to gather what I can here and shop up north and see what other work I can get myself to.
How much gold do you need?
I don't know, build an establishment like this. Not entirely certain, but I could check in. I assume it's probably a few thousand gold pieces for the structure.
Oh, I just had that too. I'm sorry, I don't have it anymore. But, I could try writing to my mom and see if she'll help you.
That's really sweet.
Or there's another thought. I mean, since you were basically robbed. Who were they? What happened? Has this happened before?
Oh, it hasn't happened as long as I've been here. I've been here most of my life here in Offfield. You hear about these things kind of wandering on the outside, and, Crown's Guard keeps you safe. Anything comes too close, they just shoot them in the face with a bunch of arrows and shit, but...
I love him so much.
Did they, Thaddeus, did they seem to be after anything in particular? Were they here for property or people or gold or food?
They didn't take any of the worthwhile stuff. Thankfully, it points over to a pile, and you can see there's some looks like brass, almost like an urn or a vase, been kind of smashed and kind of dented by the conflict. You can see bits and pieces of a few keepsakes that might be worth a little bit of money that's been brought out of it. I just mainly took all of our food stores, most of my meats, most of my salted meats, the dried meats, the fresh meats, the butchered meats. If you're out the butcher down the street,
Coconut shrimp.
Fried shrimp.
Don't engage.
It's real curious looking face you got there.
Excuse me, was there any I saw in the middle of the fray, sir? Excuse me.
In halfling, I say to him, I've also been a victim of a horrible attack.
Make a persuasion check.
Minus.
Let's give you a number.
10? Okay, but in halfling, that helped. Yeah, sorry. What can I do?
Sorry, I was part of the fray as well. I was right in the thick of it, and I saw a cart piled high with bodies. Are there people missing from town?
Quite a few. I have probably asked around some of the town's guard.
How is the rest of the village fared? Is everything as pulling off as you are?
I mean, plenty of folks seem to get through this okay. I only took down a few buildings. I'm more worried about the folks that were plucked from their homes.
Is yours the only business that was it?
I haven't looked around, to be perfectly honest. I've been a little focused on, he kind of gestures out with his hands of rubble that was once his life.
You had a lot of meat, didn't you?
Well, you have to present meat. A lot of people around here eat meat.
Would you say that you offer a larger selection of meat than some of the other establishments in town?
Oh, well, if you're asking me, the best meat. Don't know about quantity, but qualities.
I feel like I've been robbed of the experience of your fine meat products, and I, for one, would like you to rebuild so I might try some of your meats.
Well, if at some point the gracious God see fit to bequeath upon me a strike of good luck, and I can rebuild in my friend, one day you may be able to try one of my meats.
I'm going to just take a look. Is the friend who's dead skeletonized?
Oh, yeah, burnt char.
Okay. Where's this butcher that you mentioned as well?
Oh, that's he kind of steps out through where the door frame kind of is still standing, the one that you defended yourself through most of that battle. This is kind of like a freestanding frame now.
The butchers? Because that would be some like real horror level.
I think you're in the barbecue shack. I think this was the barbecue shack.
Points over to a building across the way, which is one of the buildings that's nearby.
There's the ruddy top butcher. Well, what remains of it, and you can see that building too.
It's still standing, and it's nowhere near as damaged as the candle in, but it's sustained quite a bit of damage. It looks like the roof is kind of fallen in.
I'm sorry, Malimok, another question for you. Is there maybe, I hope it is still standing, but a supply store?
If you're looking for the farming supplies, general supplies, there's
I'm sorry, I'm in need of some incense.
You can probably find something like that there at the Brown Barn.
Oh, it's a store.
Question answer. I'm sorry, I'm standing by 4 back. Question answer.
You're wondering why it's called that at this point.
But it's big.
At least wide.
Yeah.
Well, at one time it was a barn, but when they farm stopped giving up cropping, so they converted the barn itself into what was a general store. They started selling off the tools they didn't need, but that made more money than crops did that year, so we started importing more tools. And the past 30 years, Broad Barn's been kind of our common general supply place there on the western side of the outfield. So if you want to...
Wow, this is really good talk that we've had.
Of course, no.
Did you just talk, Justin?
I think I'm going to go look for the Broad Barn.
That's an idea.
Yes.
Don't pack up shop just yet. Let's see if we can do something about these terrible creatures that have been roaming around.
Maybe we'll find all of those thousands of gold for you and you can build your shop back up.
Y'all look like you're geared up, you're making a mess. You're going after these things?
We are perhaps persons of action.
We're really tough.
He leans
I have no gear.
Leans real close to you, kind of getting on his tippy toes to kind of meet your gaze, and he says,
well, if you manage to go and kill some of the dog people, you tell them Daddy's cannibal says hi.
I will.
Thank you.
She really will.
Good.
Here. It's like kind of a moldy donut. Be well, child. The traveler is with you.
Not a child, but I appreciate the gesture.
You know my name. And I really...
Gesture. Her name's Gesture.
It is a gesture like Prince.
the adventure formerly known as Jester. He takes a bite, kind of.
Also, I'm sorry, just between you and me, I know the look on your face a little bit, you seem a little manic. So, if you have friends you could stay with right now, you don't have to rebuild it today. I recommend you take it slow.
I don't think I have much choice at the moment.
Kind of gives a long stare and towards you that kind of just fades past a little bit beyond, and then
anyway, I should get back to picking up pieces, excuse me,
and starts gathering more stuff from the rubble, and the crown guard behind goes over and takes the things he's already kind of gathered and putting it into a small crate and doesn't engage.
While they were having that conversation, I'm like hanging back forward. If you're cool with that.
Yeah.
Question. If you were a crazy, ravenous, dog humanoid person thing,
Yeah.
what would make you really hungry all of a sudden? I didn't phrase that question very well.
No, I knew where you were going with it, though. Like, how do we ring the dinner bells, what you're saying? How do we get them to come to us?
Yeah.
Well, it seems like
they're into
meat.
meat.
Yeah.
Anything, kind of anything.
Yeah.
But
Well,
like,
they done took it all, I think.
but also like, they're really hungry.
Yep.
More so now.
Why more so now?
I don't know. Why more so now?
Well, they kind of just took all of Louie's cafeteria with them, so, you know, I don't think they're going to be hungry for a bit.
But what if they are so hungry?
Then we would need to roast some meats.
You know who else was really hungry out of fucking nowhere?
Who?
Big angry toad man. Devil toad guy. I feel like I should get better names for all these things.
Yeah. He was hungry all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, it might be coincidence, but just...
You thinking some of them gnolls had some fiendish qualities, perhaps?
Well, considering some of them weren't dead.
Right.
There's
shit.
that whole, like, zombie gnoll thing.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah. How could you forget that?
I have some weird dreams. What do you have in mind? Other nights.
What?
What?
I legitimately didn't understand what you said.
Oh, nothing. I got shit in my teeth.
Are you okay?
Yeah, fine. Did you have a plan? Did you want to do something to ring
I
us?
was just kind of striking conversation.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll follow them to the barn broad.
Okay, let's go to the barn run.
The broad barn. I was fucking with you.
I was going along with you.
When did we hire Tom Stoppard to write this?
I know, seriously.
Deal.
So what are you guys off to?
To the Broadbound, yeah.
It's told up in the western edge of town, and since most of the city is built on two intersections of a main road, you follow the core central kind of east to west path, and on the way out, kind of where you first entered last night, you just ran past it, you can see there is indeed, right on the edge of town, almost like the town was built to fill the gap in between, a very large barn that looks to have a lot of coiled rope, like hundreds of feet of coiled rope on the outside. The front doors are wide open, and you can see a number of folks coming in and out, many of them with what looks to be cleaning supplies, heavy pieces of cloth, buckets, whatever can be used to start kind of getting rid of the remaining black splash and ashy covering of last night's destruction. You also notice as you approach from the outside, there's a bit of commotion. You see a dozen or so Crown's Guard and a handful of armed volunteers that all appear to be in regular city farmer clothing that are all gathered in a loose huddle, with Bryce among them. You hear a loud, grating voice from within that huddle. As you approach from the outskirts, you see what appears to be a middle-aged male gnome of ruddy complexion and slicked, parted dark hair. He wears very clean maroon and gold robes, and that would lend an air of elegance were he not hopping around and pointing fingers. At which point he starts shouting between the crew, kind of just waving his hand around. Without any warning, it was your job, Brace! With Reuben cold dead, that leaves no lawmaster to preside, forcing me to take that position as well. I do not need that added responsibility, but until we get a new lawmaster instated from Rexitrim, I have no choice. Bryce pipes up at this point, kind of glancing over and seeing your guys' presence. Starosta, I've sent a request to both Zadash and Blade Garden for a supplementary force, but it may be weeks before any would arrive. Can we send trained hands at my approval to retaliate, at which point the Starosta, which has now been identified as, we cannot spare any of our forces, or the surviving guard are drawn so thin. Answer the question! Maintain a vigilant perimeter and deflect any further incursions. Bryce nods slowly. Can we at least have permission to hire mercenary strength to retaliate then? I feel not being proactive before the Null Force can fully regroup would put us at a severe disadvantage, at which point it's cut off by the Starosta. Yes, that's fine! Hire outside. I don't want any more of my citizens' deaths on my record. Dismissed! And then immediately just kind of pushes through the Crown's Guard and storms off, which is hilarious to watch a gnome storm out of a group of people. And just kind of off of the huff is escorted by 3 Crown's Guard from behind out of that space, at which point the crowd begins to kind of murmur and disperse and go about their business. Bryce turns and smiles at all of you. They've washed up from last night's damage and dirty conflict. So as they approach,
I turn to Chester and I go, look like inviting, like look heroic.
I'm deeply sorry about that. Starosta Kosh is high-strung on a holiday, and tensions have never been this high since he was assigned here 8 years ago. So, please don't take that to heart. He's just a...
Dick.
Your words, not mine.
It seems some people handle pressure better than others. He doesn't seem like a handling type.
No, those in higher political positions rarely do, it seems. Anyway, I want to thank you all again for your aid last night. I can't fathom the further death toll had you not been there and jumped in selflessly as you did. And thank you. Bryce kind of trails off and looks back towards where Starosta Kosh has stormed off and goes, fucking Dwendalian political bullshit. We need more trained guard here for weeks, especially with Zorhas bleeding into the valley, but we're far too south to matter. Every request has been declined due to all necessary forces being needed at the garrisons by Broken Vale. If they were doing their jobs at the Bluffs, you wouldn't have so many reports of violent beasts in the valley in the first place. But here we are. At least I've gotten approval for a bit more cash. And, to that, while I do not know what your business here is in Allfield, if you are still interested, we are in need of some skilled mercenary work.
We're going to kill all of them.
Yeah, we couldn't help but overhear that you were asking for some aid. How long were you thinking you might need these replacements?
Well, I mean, until at least this threat has been dealt with in a satisfactory way. I've unfortunately not had my scouts return after they were sent the night before, which does not bode well. But I suspect we should see some sort of hopeful backup sent by Zadash or Blade Garden within the next week or two. In the meantime, we're a bit of a sitting duck scenario, so I sent a few guards to go to Zadash to see what other mercenaries could be sent forward. We do have some folks traveling on the road, and we'll keep an eye out to see if anybody else is looking for some coin, but for now, you are our first line of defense. Or offense, if you will.
Well, I think I speak for all of us. We're certainly up to the task for a bit. Well, maybe for a little less than a bit. Can I ask, are there any other threats to this town besides those gnolls?
Oh, there are plenty of threats. Let's see. Famine, syphilis.
Things that come on legs and with weapons, I mean.
Syphilis and come with legs.
I feel like that was worth pointing out. Yeah.
Why do both of you know that?
No. This backwoods place has its fair share of issues, as I've come to learn, as being not from the region. But it seems to me that nothing on this scale has quite assaulted in some time. I mean, there have been,
wandering rumors of terrible things and creatures wandering past the Jorha's border for as long as the Brindalian Empire's been around. That's the whole reason of the garrisons up north. But this far south, generally the guard can keep things at bay. This is a very organized thing. I don't like it. Don't like it at all.
It's new then.
Well, this is nothing on this game.
It seems, from what we've seen, that they were hungry.
I've done a bit of research overnight, and it seems that gnolls are known to be very aggressively hungry creatures. They say famished to the point of obsession.
I feel their pain anyway.
I can understand that.
But
So you wish to hire us? How much? We are very experienced, but we'd like to know what we're talking about in advance.
Well,
what kind of money are we talking about?
the deal stands. 30 gold per gnoll ear proof of a dead gnoll. If you can recover any of the missing townsfolk here in Allfield and bring them back safely, we're willing to pay 25 gold a head. Returned.
What if we find a dead body and bring it back?
Is there some lesser number for those?
There is, because even if they are gone, we would wish to bury those we've lost. And I could probably muster 10 gold per retrieved member of the Allfield citizenry.
Specifically their heads too, or just
Preferably all of them.
Okay.
Whatever you can find.
It is permissible, is what they're saying.
I mean, seeing these creatures last night, I don't know what state you'll find any of them, but I'm just being hopeful.
Do you know what area they might have gone to? Was there
They seem to be heading east to a northeast direction. That's where the scouts went before they left. I wish I had more information for you, but that may be a good place to start.
Can you tell us at least what the landscape is like in that direction? What is over there?
There are some spotty woods on the outskirts of the town that what Allfield was kind of built into. Beyond that, it's rolling hills and fields. There are some older, long, grown-over settlements that have been abandoned, small scale, but honestly, beyond here, it's mainly fields.
I bet we can find some ghosts.
There's a lot of room. If I might offer some advice, if you do see a ghost, don't engage.
Do you know where they are? So we know how to steer clear.
My dear, there are ghosts everywhere in this world. It's far more ancient than you assume.
Well,
Bryce, some of these gnolls were undead or raised from the dead. Do you have any inkling as to why, or have you seen that problem around here before?
I don't know as to why, but it's not uncommon from what I could ascertain. Whatever dark powers they worship, it seems, allows some to progress beyond death. Rumors are that when gnolls go hungry and left to feed on each other, what remains rises to fight alongside those that still live.
That would be why some of them had chunks missing out of them.
This comes from research you have done, that you've read up on. Would you be able to share this reading with me so that we are fully prepared?
I honestly just shared with you most of all that I had learned. There was a... the only other bit of information I was able to pull from that was they have this thing, this entity that they worship, has a name.
Is it called?
Pulls out a few small
The
notes.
fire hydrant.
Does it start with an A? Sometimes if you go down through the alphabet, A, B.
As you're saying this, they pull a small series of notes from their pocket. Yinagu.
Inagu?
Yinagu.
With a Y? That would have taken forever.
Well, let that be a lesson, young halfling.
With the Y.
Nagu.
I don't know how to pronounce it. I only read it, so I apologize. Make a religion check.
With
With advantage.
a religion check?
Yes.
18.
18. It sparks a memory in you. Information kind of floods your mind, and you recall hearing about various demonic leaders of the abyss, creatures that once walked the prime plane. And you see images of this large, bestial, feral, angry demon, ever hungering, ever wandering to conquer and devour in its wake, leaving destruction, fetid meat, and waves and waves of yipping, angry hyenas to devour what was left behind.
Thank you.
Sorry, another question. May I call you Bryce?
Of course.
Bryce. Well, we were just about to go inside the barn here and get outfitted for this. Well, for many things, but especially now that we're going to go take care of this problem. Do you have any sort of pull with these people? Might we get any kind of, friendly? No, well, sure, but I'm talking about some sort of discount for getting ready for the road. We're not that flush.
It's not so much about that more than, these aren't well-to-do people in their own right.
Yeah.
And right now, honestly, rebuilding,
It's asking a bit much. I was too forward.
that's all right, it's all right. But you, as I know quite well from personal experience, have some coin to your name. Perhaps that'll be of aid to you.
Yes.
Well,
One last quick question, though. What do the gnolls normally eat?
as far as I can tell, whatever living things they can get their hands on.
Those buffalo creatures that we see rolling around.
Probably.
I don't know.
The roast meat.
All right, that's...
I will say, if there are any surviving captives, then haste is very much key. For if they are as hungry as they seem, regardless of the massive volume they've acquired through the evening, I don't know how many the number is, or how hungry they are. Take too long, there may not be much left to find. So,
We'll get this stuff and head right out.
Sorry, my curiosity gets the best of me. Always, you're talking about buffalo creatures or something. But we saw these beasts on the outskirts of town. Do you know they look like a sort of brown-furred beast of burden type creature? Do you know what those animals are?
right, yes. The valley orcs.
Valley orcs?
Valley orcs.
Cows.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. All right, well, we should get ready for the road.
Agreed.
Yes.
Walk into the store.
Was it hit at all? Was the store that we're going into destroyed at all?
No, this was far enough west. It was mainly just a few buildings on the eastern side. Coming from where the woods were, it seemed like they were using sort of cover of tree and canopy upon the incursion, and then immediately just assaulted kind of partway into the eastern part of the city, burned it from the middle, and then used the flames to escape out the back. What were you about to say?
Bryce.
Yes.
Speaking of the...
Are you all right?
The sorry, just a lot on my mind. Speaking of the orcs, I asked you yesterday if you'd heard if any of the farmers had their cattle hit. Have you heard that yet?
I could ask around. I mean, it does happen on occasion.
It's fine. We'll ask on our way out.
All right.
It's good. It's good.
Very well.
It's good.
Hey,
Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know why I
If you'll
have...
excuse me, I do have something to get to.
Oh, please, yes.
But good luck. And, Godspeed.
Have fun dealing with the dick.
I'll do my best. Bryce turns around and leaves.
Did I recognize
Rosta Kosh.
Did he seem like the type that would have made a little side trip down to, Because he seems like the type.
Was that a character DM?
Make a...
I know, I'm like, I feel like it works.
Make an intelligence check.
I am filing. I'm putting a wall between that.
I can't read your dice at all.
Intelligence. 18.
18? The robe coloring is what caught you, and the hair, the specific, like, slicked and then kind of part comb. You have seen this individual before. You were younger, maybe like 8 or so years ago, 8 or 9 years.
Good to know.
But yeah.
We're just made of secrets, aren't we? Just made of secrets.
Caleb, in my personal holdings, I don't really remember putting this there, but apparently I have 5 sticks of incense that I have no intention of using.
Oh, yeah?
Will that do you any good?
Well, that would be worth about... How much, DM?
Where does this incense come from? This was
I think it was part of a thing when I don't know.
Pack or something?
I was D&D Beyond, I don't know.
Oh, so it was part of the mentioning pack then.
I think so, yeah.
It would be negligible by comparison.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe at most like 5 silvers worth of. At most.
That is really very...
Changed day, didn't it? Everything's coming up flowers now.
Yes, this has helped me immeasurably.
Don't mention it.
Wait. How much incense do you need?
Well, it depends on how much I want to do with it. I want my cat back.
Yeah.
But I was maybe in the realm of like 15 or 20 gold I'm going to spend here today if they have that
On
much.
incense? And that 5 sticks was 5 silvers worth?
Did anyone say that out loud?
She has a good eye for value.
And herbs.
It's a lot of incense to burn. Like,
Well,
that room was-
there's a lot of parts
It's
to it.
not quantity, it is the quality.
It is the quality.
There it is.
All right.
And this was top shelf, but I still need more. So here we go. And then, but just I say thank you to the guy. Punch him up. Walk it.
As he walks away.
I think both of you do that. It's been separated.
Keep up a good face for 2 seconds.
All right, as you walk into Broadbarn, there are probably 5 other individuals that are coming through and picking up what look to be thick cloth for cleaning. You can see one person's picking up a few different kind of burn balm kits. On the far end, as they're checking out, there is what looks to be an extremely old gentleman with this giant kind of just gnarled tuft of a chin beard that like just merges with this like halo, almost like a mane, lion's mane of white hair. He has this really thin, long, crooked nose, kind of looks like Ingy Book from Neverending Story, but no glasses. And he's trying to keep a smile in the rather dark faces of the people that are coming in with the evening's events coming around. As you guys walk in and approach, you can glance out and say,
Well, if y'all need something, y'all just let me know.
Oh boy. West Virginia.
Do you have any pickles?
Y'all want pickles?
You seem like the type of place that would carry pickles.
he leans back and rummages through what sounds like a small paper bag.
They come in barrels usually. You get barrels of pickles.
There's like a small like glass mason jar with like 2 pickles, and he goes,
I'm on the part where they share pickles.
Is it poop? Is it poop in a jar, or is it pickles?
no, it's pickles. It looks like he may have just pulled it out of his lunch.
Yeah, only you
Oh.
can put food in a jar.
That's true.
I could part with them for around 3 copper.
That is a good deal, sir, and I will give you the copper.
Do you need more copper? Are you alright?
No, hold on. No, I've got copper around somewhere.
Okay, so I'll give you 2 copper if I get one of those pickles.
Okay.
There we
Here, I pick some lint off one of the coppers that we have.
He takes the copper
Can I
from
give
you.
you 2 copper?
Takes the copper from you. Slice put pickles. Good day.
Excuse me, I just inhaled my own spit. You know what I mean?
Don't do that! That is not conducive to a lengthy lifetime.
I am okay.
Yeah, I am eating a very fine kind of incense, and I don't know if that is the type of thing this establishment would carry. But it's very important. Do you have that sort of thing?
You want incense? That's fancy.
I'm sorry, it's very noisy in the shop. What did you say?
It's really fancy to me, incense.
Well, look at me. Can you not tell how fancy I am? Yeah.
That's why I'm curious.
Well, you know, I've been on the road a long time, and I'm carrying a smell with me, if you cannot tell.
I got incense.
To the point, I like it. I would like to spend about 20 gold worth of incense. Do you have that much? I don't mean cheap shit.
What kind of establishment do you take me for?
Well, it's a barn, yeah?
Touche. He wanders away from there and gathers what looks to be any semblance of anything that could be considered incense to some degree. And it's a massive volume. It's you know, we said quality over quantity. It's definitely a quality or a quantity circumstance. Like 2 big burlap sacks of all sorts of fine ground herbs and things that could amount to.
I would like to make an insight check to make sure it's not oregano.
Go for it.
Come on, where's the druid? That's what would be for oregano, that's Vex. It's this one. Okay.
know if you were swindling.
Perception?
No, that'd be insight.
Insight? Oh, that's much better. That is an elf.
A what?
An elf.
Elf. 11. You just learned something.
There we go.
11 German.
He seems to be doing the best he can.
Okay, good. Good. This is, you know, this is really good. I will give you 17 gold for all this.
Deal.
1, 2.
While he's counting this out, it's like, is there anyone else in the store? Anyone?
There at this point, there's 3 other people in the store, and they're slowly filtering out.
Okay. Do I see any little trinkets or anything? Little brass things? Little baby bottles? Anything?
This store, it seems that most everything they have here, it's a lot of them are basic farming supplies. A lot of them are. There are a few metallic joints that could be used for when you were like tapping a keg. They have some keg taps there. They have. Oh my god.
Dick.
16.
Oh, that one fell.
Oh my god, 16. And I pushed the 16 gold forward.
Oh.
I appreciate your patronage.
I have an idea. I have an idea.
These are heavy.
I know this may be a stretch. Do you have maybe any healing potions or anything like that? Or maybe, this might be weird, some kind of poisons maybe?
That's pretty weird. That's I'm going to say there, sir. I mean, you look pretty weird. That's a pretty weird request.
Thank you.
No, we do not carry poisons.
You for dealing with pests on the farm, that sort of thing.
We have insecticides.
You gotta work on a knoll.
Yeah. Insecticide, pesticide, herbicide.
An insecticide generally refers to insects. And we're talking knolls.
Yeah, we ever tried to find an insecticide?
I mean,
That's a bad day.
stuff is bad for anybody, I guess.
Is it flammable?
But we could.
Do I know it's flammable?
Do it. How much is it?
How much is it?
For about a vial that big. Silver.
No.
You're gonna use a lot.
Like, what would that really... If I were to drink that right now, what do you think that would do to me?
Well, yeah, some real serious shits for a few days.
It's like my thing.
Wow, really?
May I examine it?
Well,
May I examine
Yeah,
it?
please.
Okay, I'm gonna sort of look at it, smell it, look at the fluid. Do I know anything about this chemical at all, or?
You do. It's a very diluted form of acute poison to the point where it wouldn't actually affect any like larger creature. But if put in a large batch of water used to spray down crops, certain insects. How do they call it? I forget. Anyway, it's like aphids, things like that would die off. Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
It won't really do much, but you know.
Do you know about these sorts of things?
Sometimes, not a lot.
That's very impressive.
Well, speaking of, and I'll ask him for the components to make acid. Does he have that stuff?
Yeah. In a very like anarchist cookbook kind of way. Like he doesn't sell you acid, but there are the materials available where you could create it. Yeah.
Okay. How much for all this shit?
How many vials worth are you looking for?
Just one.
Just one? It's already about 12 gold.
All right, that's fine.
Oh, can you throw a med kit in there with it if you have any left?
Looks around. I'm afraid we're clear out. Bit of a
You have things going on.
lot of things. Sorry.
It's fine.
My apologies.
No, it's okay. I have this pickle.
It's a good pickle.
It was.
Is it a good pickle?
I haven't tried it. I just drank the juice, but...
I ate mine. It was quite good, and now we're just sharing the juice at this point.
Guys, let's go kill moles.
juice.
Juice is great.
It is.
Thank you.
Picklebacks.
Pickleback.
Pickleback.
Brine drinkers.
Like a cheeseburger in the shop.
Yes.
Oh, God, stop it. Okay.
Go back to Kentucky.
Are we prepared now to
Wait,
go?
no.
What?
Do they still you sell any healing potions?
We're not really. Not really purveyors of healing potions, and those that have are usually held by the Crown's Guard.
By the Crown's Guard? Really?
We didn't ask price for any healing potions.
You actually asked the night before, and Bryce had said that they're currently being used to tend to the people
Oh,
that
that's
are
right.
in really bad places.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to walk through a war zone and be like, hey guys, do you have supplies?
What do you need to do for the rest of the day, Caleb?
Well, I would really like to get my cat back, so I would need about an hour to go do a little stuff. Do you have anything else to do?
There's people getting chopped up and eaten, but if you really want the cat,
No. That's...
How are we going, or what are we doing? Are we taking our cart?
Take the cart?
Well,
Get some meat from the butcher?
might be
actually,
able to go faster.
We have
if
to
we
see.
were a little spread,
Well, okay, maybe I can put it on hold, although I really hate to. But let's come up with what are we doing? What is the plan?
well, I mean, I would follow the direction that they left last night, so we can find the trail.
We're just gonna go into the belly of the beast because one of them shot me and killed me with an arrow.
I mean,
We could throw them out.
Yeah, you just stay behind Caleb. You'll be fine.
You didn't die, not I saved you.
Thank you so much, but I don't want to be in that predicament again.
Yes, thank you.
Can we draw them out somehow?
Yeah.
They are fond of meat. Here's my idea.
Oh, yeah.
We stage a barbecue contest. Finest in the land. All the best barbecue will be there. And then when they come to sample our wares, I run and you kill them.
You know, I love that idea.
I want to expand it though, yeah.
Small hiccup. Time, again, is of the essence.
Because you want to slow cook that and stuff to be
Dry
really
age,
good.
dry,
It's
really
true.
get a good hickory chip under them, but, you know, Problem is, people might be dying in the meantime. So if we could find a more expedient solution.
Also, were you thinking on having a barbecue here or setting up a barbecue on the road?
Field, yes, so that it's...
Just a random field.
Yes.
It would take a while to get started.
It seems like less of a trap.
Get him, Bo. You can tell her.
No, you take it forward,
Yeah,
please.
listen, Bo had a fantastic observation. You know, if we happen to see one of those beasts of burden on our way out tracking, maybe we could wrangle one up and use it as bait.
And if we don't see one, then Ford, you're the biggest.
That's fair.
Either way, we would probably need the cart.
We could also see what they still have at the butchers.
And bring people back.
And maybe one extra horse.
What did you say, Molly?
No, we could see what else they still have at the butchers. Well, there's a butcher.
Well, the butcher got severely cleaned out.
Yeah.
Well, we just heard that. We might.
I think you're right. Extra horse. We need the cart.
You have to carry one of those beasts if we kill one.
I mean, and also I would say if we can try and figure out a way to set up our operation on the edge of the forest so that we're not in the middle of a field in the open.
Well, is
the hills aren't good.
to try to... I'm sorry, you finish your thought.
Hills are bad. Hills are bad to fight.
Yeah, okay, so...
Unless you're on top of the hill. That's good.
I'm not a
but
technician,
it's
but
not
I have a
what we
question.
want.
I have a question.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Are we trying to go back to these things where they live, their lair, their home, their camp, or are we just hoping to lock into them on the road? Or
I think we'd be making the best guess at this point. My best hope is to find out where they are, what it looks like where they're staying, and if we can, without confrontation, get some survivors out of it. That would be ideal.
I like that idea as well.
Actually, that's not a bad idea at all. Maybe we could have like a survivor roundup team and then like a defense team.
It'd be nice.
But then how do we get all of the ears?
Well, and I'm just putting it out there, maybe survivors before ears.
We
Just
can
for
always
now.
go back out and get more ears whenever we damn feel like it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We can do both, but there is a timestamp on the people, so we should take care of the people first, because then we are increasing how much gold we will bring in, because if they die, then we will not get as much money for them if they are alive. So we should get them alive, get them out, kill the baddies if we can at the same time, and not go back a second time.
I thought you said you weren't a tactician. Look at you.
He's very smart.
Extremely tactile.
Came to plan. Let's do it.
No social graces. Let's do this.
Let's go.
Before we get another break.
We're going to ask Bryce if they have a horse.
Why don't you four go get horses?
Yeah, we'll get it
Me
over.
and the Seaman will go get some incense and stuff.
See, man, I thought I was a man. Fucking get your titles right. Come on, brother.
Take it out of the manifesto.
I'm proud, son of a bitch.
You're a seaman.
Wait, so wait. How many
Burn my boot. I'm
You're
gonna
going to go get a horse. You don't need to be good for that.
I really want my cat, but maybe...
Let's go get some incense. I need to buy some tarts.
Maybe you would be... We'll get the tarts. Maybe you would be handy or something.
You need tarts?
I need a tart.
Yeah, we need
Oh, well,
minutes. We have
why
minutes.
didn't you just
to
say
go.
something?
You have tarts?
Hold on, let me dig.
That's a bag of pastries.
There's this one.
Wow.
I think there's a blackberry one somewhere in
Ooh,
here.
I
It's
can't
a
tell what this
little
used to be.
There's some
Kind of
tart
gross,
stuff in
I'm
the
sorry.
back of the bin.
Is that,
It works,
is
right?
that the top or the bottom?
I can't
Oh,
tell anymore.
nope. Yeah.
It's all kind of black. Sorry.
I have 2 tarts.
Yes, very stale.
I'm taking them.
You can't tell if the sour smell is intentional flavor or just time taking its toll. They'll be tart one way or the other.
Do we see any crowns guard around in the street?
Over time you will, yeah. They're scattered a bit thin, and a lot of them are currently focused on either perimeter watch in case they come back, or helping out those that need help inside the city.
Just like to find one.
Okay.
If I could.
Okay. I see within 10 minutes of wandering through the city, if you guys have gathered yourselves, again heading towards the eastern side, you see a Crown's Guard who's currently walking by with what look to be some wash rags under one arm and like a little streak of dried blood down the side of their face. Looks to be like a young man, probably in his mid-20s or so. Longish hair that's been like heavily braided on the sides and then pinned to the back in a kind of a slight tuft of a ponytail.
Howdy.
Yes?
Sorry to bother, but we've been commissioned by Bryce to make a little expedition go out to those knolls. We're going to need an extra steed if the Crown's Guard has one.
We're not allowed to give out any Crown's Guard supplies. If you're looking for a steed, you probably have to go to the On the Wind stables. They're going to be your best bet.
And where would those be?
Right. Points over towards kind of the northern side of the town, and you can see it's one of the buildings that's taking a little bit of fire damage.
Are you concerned about the people that live in this town? The clock's ticking on their lives, and you want me to go get a steed from another stable instead of saving their lives?
It's not.
I sure would hate to have to report this to Bryce. I think they'd be pretty upset about it.
Make a deception check.
13.
It's like, look, I mean, no offense whatsoever. And if I can go find Bryce and see if we can get surrounded, the Watchmaster would be much more suited to accept it. Oh, Reggie.
Reggie. Disappointed, Reggie. I don't know what else to say. Let's go. Fuck yeah, now.
Reggie, you know, this is hard. Town's been hit hard. You look very weary and maybe like a little down on your luck yourself. Maybe I'm just reading into things, but I would gladly pay you a silver for this horse.
And let me tell you, Reggie, it would be the best deal you could possibly make. I'm an East Charm person.
Did not make that easy check. So Reggie kind of glances over you and goes, let me see what I can do. And then kind of just quickly makes his way northward to the outside of the stables.
Very nice.
Thank you. About 5 minutes pass or so, and you can hear the clopping of hooves as Reggie comes back with a very obstinate beast on the reins, kind of dragging it towards you. It's slowly guiding over. Reggie doesn't seem to be very trained individual when it comes to handling creatures, especially beasts of burden. This. Will this do?
Oh, good. I see you brought us your best, Reggie. Thanks, man.
Ignore her. She's very difficult.
Hands the reins.
Not wrong.
You're a hero. Thank you.
Best I can do.
Good luck. Here's that papa. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I hand him a silver also.
Thank you.
Silver is way too little for a horse.
I said silver, and we're being fair.
Just bring it back.
We'll do our
It's on loan. It's on loan.
If we come back, it comes back.
Probably.
This is just a rental.
We definitely won't use it as bait for the gnolls. Okay, bye.
We make our way over to where we left our other horse and cart.
Okay. Easy enough to find. You have placed a hitching post with a little bit of feed over the evening. So your cart and horse are safe and at your disposal.
I saw him take off into the forest. I kind of tracked a little bit, kind of right between those trees, but I mean, I don't know, we can start there.
I bet they left a lot of tracks and probably some cart things.
I don't know why I thought you were going to say they left behind poop.
They probably did. Oh my god, they weren't wearing any underwear, were they?
They were wearing what looked to be cobbled together or scavenged bits of leather and hide armors.
But it had holes for their butts.
It seemed like most of them would have had some means of easily disposing of their excrement.
They don't care. They're just swinging low and leaving it behind.
They were very well dressed.
Well, yeah, if that's the direction you saw them head off in.
Yeah,
Check it out.
I guess I'll try and I'll be on the lookout for cart tracks.
Okay.
Looking for cart tracks.
As we go, and also, we didn't have time, so yeah, off you go. And I will sit in the cart and go blind.
Okay. So while you were sending from kind of keep a watch, you are keeping an eye out for tracks to kind of lead that. So go to make a survival check, please.
It's not like I'm not strong. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm keeping an eye out for the poop.
Not bad. 16.
16.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. That was a six. Oh, I rolled a natural 16, so 19.
19.
I thought it was a 13. I apologize.
Very quickly, you come upon what looks to be a number of gnoll footprints in the ground. One of what seems to be multiple cart tracks. That was the one that you saw.
Oh no. Wait, are there nearby towns? Are there other nearby villages?
I think there were
They were multiple
carts.
carts.
Oh, we just only
saw the last one.
Okay, can I get like an odd estimate of maybe how many gnolls we might be dealing with based on the amount of tracks?
With that roll, I'd say you surmise somewhere in the neighborhood of about 18 or so gnolls, from what you can gather on the tracks that you found.
Would the hunter's bane be useful for that, for tracking these creatures?
You can attempt to make a decision.
There would technically have some undead around them.
For the specific, sure. Go ahead and make a survival check to see if you can find those tracks.
Just a standard one. Standard survival check. All right.
You're technically turning into you get advantage in this one.
17.
17. Same degree. You find the tracks. You see that there is the remnants of this gnoll horde, if you will, returning towards a similar direction. You find what seem to be 3 sets of cart tracks.
I turn to the rest of the group and I go, okay, good news. We were real stupid if we thought we couldn't track them. Because there was a fuck ton of them. So that'll be easy. Bad news is, oh god, there's a fuck ton of them. That's it.
Yeah, that's bad news.
Yeah.
Are the carts all heading in the same direction, or would they split up?
They're all converge into one path. And they head through the relatively thin woods that surround the northeastern side of Allfield. And as you progress on that path out to the other side of the woods, continue into the northeastern fields where the rolling hills begin. And these hills seem to go on for miles.
I would be, Frumkin would be in the air like 300 to 400 feet in front of the cart, and I wouldn't do 100% of the time, but I would talk for 3 minutes and then maybe go, hold on one sec, and then come back. So, intermittent.
Yeah. So go ahead and make a perception check.
Yeah, okay.
Tall grass? On
Yeah.
these rolling hills?
Yeah, or is it just open fucking hills?
Picked by beasts?
No, it's tall grass across the hills.
Bad backside.
Okay. The grass can vary anywhere from like knee high to chest high in places. And it's the hills towards the top can get a little more rocky. There are patches where the grass doesn't grow as well, and there's just like open dirt and broken shale. After about an hour or so of tracking in that direction, you've come upon what's the Railway Road, which is the main road that heads up towards Fellerwin. Railway, R-I-L-L.
Railway, yes. Okay.
You can see it a little ways off.
Also, in this time, I would have told the rest of the group, before Not and I arrived in Trustmore, just outside the city limits, we were laid by gnolls previously, and they were hiding in grass just like this. It was very much like this, so we should be getting very nervous right now looking at it all.
In theory, am I actively tracking these creatures? The undead, at least.
The undead tracks are falling in line with her tracking. They're moving as a group. But there's far less undead tracks than there are regular gnolls, so it's best you can to keep tabs on them.
I'm just curious how much of this hunter's bane I can actually be using right now.
I mean, you'd be leading it if she had made an equally good roll. So now both of you are leading this.
The grass, is it dead or like vibrant green?
Vibrant green for the most part.
Or set it afire.
Right. The wind is picking up a little bit. You can see, especially when you start coming up over some of the bigger hills, you can see the waves cresting over the hillside, and causing the shift of it. It's a very beautiful space.
The wind just makes it hard to hear.
I can tell.
Still the morning hour, about midday.
At this point now, you've been traveling for probably, we'll say, an hour and a half. It's getting close to noon. Yes.
No, actually, it's actually about 11:37, so we're not quite there by the position of the sun.
Sorry. It was right there.
I know. Anyway.
Beholder!
Don't think I'm not tempted.
So okay, how rough and how open is our situation right now? Are we like in the middle of an open field?
You're pretty much in the middle of an open field, but the tracks you can see, because you can see the Railway Road south of you, and the tracks begin to shift further north. Like as they were heading back, they were keeping off the road best they can as well. You also do notice that within the tracks, you do find bits of grass that are spattered with drying blood. You don't know how fresh it is. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Remember how I was like, this is like the worst situation to be in? I feel like this might be the worst situation to be in.
Right.
What, survival?
Perception.
Wow, it's not the one here.
As you're having this conversation with Ford, you're just not paying attention to the road in front of you.
God. If we're sitting in the cart, is the grass taller than us, or is it way lower than us?
No, it's about as tall as the cart at times. Sometimes it gets lower, so you guys do stand out amongst the grass. So as you head over the hills or down below, you are above the grass line without an issue.
So if walking on the ground as a human is like up here? Or...
Yeah, it's about up to your chest times waist chest.
Yeah.
So if I stand up in the cart as we go, can I see out and like see into the grass and stuff?
Yeah.
What if I gave Jester a ride on my shoulders while we walk?
On a moving cart.
What could possibly go wrong?
You've seen Teen Wolf?
In the cart, yeah.
I'm holding you.
I like it.
Kind of cool.
All out. Go make a perception check, Jester.
Oh, really? Here goes. Oh, Justice T.
19.
19. Make a strength check.
Like a saving throw or just a check?
Just a check.
Straight up.
Come on, roll a 20. Make it happen.
Okay, it's a 14.
14, okay. Right as your eyes catch something, you drop for a second, but just bows beneath you going, oh, just barely holding you up. The elbows are starting to buckle a little bit, but rallies and holds you up still above. You kind of flatten your back out, give a graceful pose as you look ahead.
6, 4, 7, 8.
As you guys are coming up over a hill at this point, you get a good view down. You can see between the tall grass and the high weeds that are being clustered in this vicinity, there is a series of large hills that kind of all break down into this valley where the grass just ends in this area. It just looks like it's barren rock and dirt. And you notice with that perception check what looks to be a few carts, what looks to be a few broken boxes, what looks to be some tables or contraptions in there. There's some semblance of civilization here amongst these hills off the road.
There's carts! I see the carts! I jump up and down in our hands. Oh, God!
Are there people in the carts?
Oh, are there people in the carts? Can I see?
They appear to be empty.
They're empty.
Abandoned?
Maybe.
I'm gonna start drinking.
Okay. How much do you drink?
I'm gonna take a 3 big swigs.
Okay, good to know.
And I would like to use Frumpkin to do a once around from above to see if any of those beasts are on the horizon anywhere for us to kill, and also if there's any survivors or anything here.
Perception check for Frumpkin.
Yeah. That is a 13.
13. Okay, good to know.
Should we pull the cart over and sneak up?
Yes, by foot is how we should proceed.
Okay. Let's pull the cart over. Okay. And hide it in the grass.
Yeah, that's what I kind of help Chester hide the cart.
Okay.
Oh, but our horses, what if they get eaten?
It's all right. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We don't care about the horses. Let's just save ourselves. Who cares about the horses?
Well, how are we going to get all the people back if we don't have horses to pull the cart?
That's true.
From 100 feet up, I can see through Frumpkin's eyes all of us being a bunch of dumb fucks in the back of the car.
It's true.
Should we leave someone back to protect the horses?
No.
Seems a waste.
Would you want to be the one person that got attacked with the horses by yourself?
No.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
We stick together.
All right. I'll be part of the Ford expedition.
I heard a groan from.
That wasn't a groan. That was like.
That was nausea. That was nausea.
I feel like I passed a stone.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm ready to die.
All right. So what's the plan, guys?
I'm going to. Does anybody have to sneeze?
What?
Anybody feel like they need to?
Should we?
Sneeze? What?
That
Why?
would like give away our stealthy approach.
Oh, I see.
Bless you. And you give it a
I was waiting for the punchline.
What is
You have advantage on stealth.
I have advantage on stealth. That's great.
Smell.
On stealth.
Stealth.
He who stealth it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, what do you guys do with the cart? The horses? What do you do?
We're hiding in the tall grass.
Okay.
No rocks around, right? No stones or boulders in the field.
Not that big. I mean, the hills themselves are. It's just large rolling hills throughout this whole valley area.
Let's try and get it in the depression of the rolling hill. And just
Okay.
do it.
You have to back up a bit to get it out of the view.
I'd like to point out that we came up with a loose plan, but we're not doing that plan.
What was our loose plan? We didn't see any of them.
We haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah?
We're not in any tree line or
Also,
anything like that.
in a pinch, we could kill the horses.
Kill the horses? Oh, to use it as a ride. That's right. We could.
But we won't be able to pull the cart. I mean, I'm really strong, but I don't know if I can carry that many people.
She's lying. She's not really strong.
We have 2 horses.
Really?
We could even just kick one of the horses. We wouldn't have to kill the horse. We could just send the horse.
Let's see what we Let's find out what we see first, and then we'll decide.
Recon.
I don't know.
So,
Let's flank.
yeah, everybody fan out in firing lines.
We're going away from each other?
Just
Gonna surround.
within eye distance, right? But keep a line.
Answer my question.
What do you mean line?
Flanking ones.
Keep a line, and we're going to move towards the cart. We're going to use the tall grass, right?
Towards the 3 carts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we need to have some sort of like awesome whistle, something like communicate with each other?
I'm open to it if you have it.
Oh, what's that thing you did at the circus? That was cool.
I can't do it. We don't make any noise at all. We just sneak in.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So having placed the cart where what you assume is the best you can hide it, who is helming the hiding of the cart?
Me?
Go ahead and make a survival check.
I will also help with that.
All right. If you're aiding, then do an advantage.
Okay. Lift with the legs.
13.
13. Okay. I mean, sure.
I get some. I put some grass and I put it on top of the cart.
Put your arm around the car. That's what you do all the time.
We have the time for that. So, right now it'll take me 11 minutes to do that.
Do it.
Yeah?
Hey.
People's lives, urgency, clock, time, all that stuff.
10 minutes, okay.
All right, let's just go.
So what is the marching order? You guys see you're flying in a minute.
We come in as a line together.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the order of the line then?
Well, we're all even moving forward. We're
Yes,
just
but what is the order of the line?
Oh.
I'm to the left of Caleb there on the end.
I don't want to be on an end. Oh,
You're not on the end.
no, but I don't want you to be on the end.
I don't mind being on the end. How about that?
Yeah, imagine that the ends are gonna be where you're gonna need
Yeah.
the most strength,
No,
right?
I would grab not by the shoulder and pull us into the middle somehow. Yeah.
You want to be in the middle?
Yes.
Okay.
Start with mine. There, boom, done.
There you go.
Perfect.
Great.
All right, so we have Molly, Not, Caleb, Jester, Bo, then Ford. Okay. I'd like you all to make a stealth check, please, as you make your way through the grass.
Sick. That helps.
21.
15.
16.
12.
16.
Okay. As you guys stay low through the grass, kind of pushing through your hands carefully as you go, hearing the wind occasionally rise and fall, the various waves of grass beating against itself. You come upon where the grass begins to fall off, and you stay low as best you can before the grass itself comes to an end right at the outskirts of where the central area between these hills begins. There, as you poke your head through, you can see 3 carts that are kind of scattered amongst what looks to be a kind of a mine shaft yard. The exterior of a mine. You can see what appear to be large wooden pan tables. You can see some pickaxes that are leaning against the side. You see the remnants of what seems to be some lanterns that have rusted. And there are 3 carts. The carts themselves are spattered with blood. And you notice 3 creatures, similar to the gnolls that you saw the night before, but smaller and dog-like. These are just basic hyenas that are all gathered up around and are currently licking the blood that's been soaked into the wood. You see one of them ends up finding what looks to be a piece of meat or something that was hanging from one side and tears it off. The one goes over and bites onto it, maybe even tearing and fighting over before one of them pushes the other over and it kind of... And it goes back, means licking the blood off the side of the wood. These 3 hyenas are just scavenging on the outskirts of these carts right now.
They're just hyenas?
They're just hyenas.
Like magical undead hyenas?
Not from what you can tell.
Can we see how many entrances there are to this mine yard?
From this distance, you can't see any entrances.
Do you think there's centurions?
Yeah, I think they're going to make a big fucking stink if we,
Yes.
yeah.
I bet that they like system.
Yeah.
But we have to kill them, like, all at once.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I could make a distraction. Not Bo. Are y'all fast, quick, and quiet?
Yes.
Sure.
Who else?
No, just us.
Quietish.
There's 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
All right.
What do you want to try and make a distraction and bring them closer to us? And then we can
Yeah.
jump out of the grass. Do the old jump out of the grass.
About how far from the edge of the grass where we are to them, would you say?
About 50 or so feet, 60 feet.
Can I use minor illusion to create a plump little bunny?
Oh.
I want to have it hop out of the grass. But its front leg looks a little lame.
Oh, buddy.
Quietly, this plump, wounded, with like a hint of pink to the fur around the arm where it looks like maybe bleeding a bit, begins to hobble its way silently out of the grass just beyond the edge.
I'm gonna hide.
I'm gonna-
Yeah, I'm gonna hide.
full ride.
You guys are still hidden.
I'm gonna draw one of my swords and just out of experiment try and get it to do that weird thing it did yesterday.
Okay.
With my hand.
Okay, so you initiate the rite, and as you do, the blade begins to give a faint, radiant glow, a whitish yellow light that you will almost instinctually hold low in the grass to make sure you don't become a beacon amongst your hiding. You watch as one of the hyenas kind of making its way to others, kind of look over. They all begin to gather up, and the 3 almost kind of go into this pack swoop formation in the direction of the rabbit, closing in 40 feet, 30 feet, 20 feet. And with a rapid bolt, one of them just kind of runs forward and leaps out, does a pounce motion toward the rabbit, and just skips into the dirt past it, right to the front of the grass line where you are, Bo.
Now!
Use sacred flame on this one next to it.
Okay, and who was doing what else?
And then I'm going to stab the third one.
Okay, so you rush. So the three of you rush out and attack the two individual ones. What are you guys doing?
I will send I will send Frumpkin down to the one that Jester was attacking, right up against it to distract and shove in its face.
Alrighty. So, Bo, go ahead and attack first.
Okay, I'm gonna take kind of the blunt end of the staff and just go right for it as it skids by. I'm gonna take it right in its neck. Ooh, okay. 10.
10. You go to swing, and as it sees you, suddenly it backs away, and your staff hits the dirt right next to it. It just barely misses it. Caleb, you following up as...
Caleb sends Frumpkin right down to the one that Jester was attacking, and I will send out a firebolt at the same time.
Yep, go for it. Go ahead and roll your attack roll for the firebolt.
And that's an advantage if my birdie is bothering him up close.
Right, okay. Wait, you're not the one that didn't hear Jester?
Yeah, the one that Jester was attacking.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so that is, that's good. That is 21.
21 hits, criminal damage.
Yeah, that is, spells are still new to me.
Oh, that's a big one.
1 point of damage.
1 point of damage.
All right. Begins to burn the small circular image on the outside of the hanging bite. Go ahead and...
You just have to make a dex save of over 13.
The natural one is enough.
Then he gets 4 more damage, radiant.
That's enough. With the blast of the firebolt and the incineration of the sacred flame, you watch that hanging just bursts into fire and plops to the ground while it just burns, smoldering, its flesh becoming the meals that it had previously feasted upon. Molly and not?
I'll take my one first. Yeah.
Okay.
That's wow. 6, 17. That's my brain.
Good roll damage.
That's 4. That's 7 points plus 3 radiant. So
yeah, the first strike just completely cleaves it in half. Like its momentum running, almost like it hits the blade. You hold it out, and the momentum just carries it over, seamlessly carving through it.
Am I close enough to hit the third one that's still left with my second attack?
You can have movement to close it. This one right in front of Bo, so you're a little ways away, but you can close the gap while not in...
I didn't get my bonus attack
Yeah.
on that guy.
That's right, go for it. Yep.
Okay. I want to try and just bring my heel down on top of it.
Okay.
As it tries to scooch away. Fucking, did you see that?
I did.
Yep, 17 to a 3.
You need to not use that dice for the rest of the
9. 9 again. The first it hits the dirt and it backs up. You move out with your heel to go ahead and swing, and it actually ducks underneath and tries to snap at your heel as Molly closes the gap. And
would you let me go?
I release my bolt at that same one.
All right.
20.
All right, go roll damage. And with sneak attack.
Okay. Ooh, I mean, that's 13.
Yeah, Molly, as you rush up, you watch as a bolt just goes right through the side of the hyena's head and just falls lifeless to the ground. All three of them out in a split second.
I don't want to make you all alarmed or anything, but that was kind of fucking efficient.
Like the ball, you were missing like crazy.
You know, I had a long day yesterday, okay?
Hands were?
Hey, look, we can use this hyena meat as bait.
You were right.
I'm gonna go pull my bolt out of the thing. Is it recoverable?
Yeah, thankfully it was clean enough shot. It didn't seem to get caught or shattered against any of the bones.
Quick perimeter check, see if we learned anything looks at. Natural 19. So
Glancing about the vicinity, does not look like anything else is moving or near or has noticed your presence.
move to the carts. Quick check of anything left behind, clues.
Do we need to drag these bodies?
There's no blood bodies. It's just blood spatter.
The hyenas.
Well,
they
We gotta figure out where we're going
gonna put
first.
them,
I'm also going to point out they hadn't been eating the hyenas anyway, so maybe they may be leaving bodies of their pets.
Should we
Not
toss
very
them
good
into
idea.
the grass then to get them out of view?
That might be the smarter way to go.
Do it.
Okay, I'll pick them up and throw them as far as I can into the grass.
Okay. Like a massive shot put, you watch this tiny jester with a double spin each chuck these relatively heavy beasts deep into the grass field before they vanish with a heavy thud into the field.
If you want to throw the
Hey,
hammer,
what happened to the little bunny though? And I'm gonna look for the little white rabbit.
Oh dear.
Bunny appears to no longer be around.
That's really sad. They ate it before we could help.
We'll have a funeral later.
I'm going to keep a hold of my sword, but I'm going to wrap it in the coat so it's not glowing ridiculously.
So there's just there's the cost, there's the one mine entrance?
You don't see an entrance to the mine, you just see what looks to be mining equipment.
Got it.
Oh, I thought. Oh, I misunderstood that.
Yeah, you see what looks to be pieces of equipment and the interior of this kind of hill valley, this short little valley, seems to have been prepped for some sort of a mining expedition. But you do not get
mine hole.
There's no hole.
You don't see one of
Take a look around to see if there's anything when they started or anything like that.
I'll take the opposite side that he's doing.
Okay.
I'm gonna look in the cart.
Okay. You look in the carts, and they are empty. You see a few wayward pieces of cloth. Everything in there is bloodied and caked, and has streaks of it being licked up. It looks like the hyenas had been in it for a while, trying to clear off what was left behind from wherever the bodies that were within were taken. I would like you both to make investigation checks, please. And you're following tracks?
Mm-hmm.
Make a survival check.
No.
Because there are undead as part of this, actually. Yeah.
Survival check.
14.
14.
14? It looks like the dust and the dirt of this vicinity has been freshly swept or dispersed intentionally. Meaning that once this little valley had been entered and the carts had been emptied, something was smart enough to intentionally cover the tracks. You, however, you rolled 20, you said. As you begin to look about the base of the closest hill facing away from where you guys entered, kind of in the eastern direction, you see a pattern of grasses. A pattern of grasses that seem to be interwoven. Meaning, as opposed to a natural pattern, there's a consistent kind of mesh to the way they've been laid.
It looks like how we put the stuff over the cot.
And as you glance over, you can see what looks to be a net of grasses that has been woven and thrown over, leaving a small gap on the edge where you can see the dark exterior of what was a mine shaft structure entrance.
That's way smarter than what we did. Killing it.
Maybe we're just,
But we'll remember it for the future.
yours was handcrafted.
I will just take this one.
That's what I was saying. How is it heavy? How big is this thing? Can you only fold it up to stuff?
It's about 12 foot by 12 foot.
Oh, that's big.
You could put it in the backpack.
Maybe roll up. Right. Or
It's pretty big.
Got 6.
It's thrown on and kind of woven. It's like put against the grass. It doesn't have sticks on the side.
Like, does it have a frame of any sort?
No, it's laid on the side.
Oh, it's a blanket.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, we
can
can
take that.
grab it on our way back.
Yeah.
We have it on the car because we're leaving.
I must be good enough level we just take everything we find, no matter how you
Like in Skyrim, just
Oh man, we're just clay pot. We're going to be cracking open clay pots.
The scavenger levels, man. Alrighty. It is too big for you to carry with you.
Great.
But it can definitely be taken with you should you exit.
How about what's behind the grass? Let's discuss this.
All right. So as you pull it back, you do see the wooden support structure of the interior of a mine shaft. That as soon as you pull it back and look inside, it looks like a barricade has been kind of partially placed up on each side. You see piles of broken furniture, stools and chairs that are shattered and kind of jammed into each other to form some sort of a barricade on each side. You can see kind of dry rotted pickaxe handles and other pieces of general wooden beams used for construction that are all kind of pushed up against the sides with a small path, maybe about 3 feet wide, that you could walk through to enter. And it looks pitch black on the inside. There is no light source outside. A little bit of daylight is coming through from the entrance.
I'm sorry, I was thinking about a thing. You're saying there is a way through for us? Or
There is a way. There's about a 2.5, 3 foot gap between this barricade where whatever made its way in. And once you enter through, you can now see, since there has not been dust put, there is a definitive trail of blood that is dragged through and caked in the loose dirt and dust.
Should I give us a little lighter now?
Wait,
Not yet.
before we go in.
You're anxious to go. You want to go first?
No, Jesus, no! No, please. There were hyenas out here, right? Posted as guards? If one of the hyenas had gone like, ooh, 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 would something have come out of this hole to come get us?
I mean, that is a fair assumption, yeah.
Then why don't we make that sound and wait for something to come out and kill it?
Well, but what if it alerts a lot of dinos and then we don't have the element of surprise at all anymore?
Well, we're talking...
You want to go into that dark, scary cave?
If
Doesn't look that bad to me.
It is a dark, scary cave.
Frumpkin is still just a sweet little bird, so I thought maybe a little quick flight in.
Canary in a no mine.
We have to do it. Too perfect.
Canary in a no mine.
Oh man, that was good.
That was so beautiful.
Sorry.
There's limits.
I don't know if it's something Frumpkin can do, but unless not, you just want to, go in there and count guys.
No, I'm drinking.
Okay. You are now officially intoxicated.
Oh, I don't have to roll, it just happens.
Yep.
Great.
For the next hour.
Also...
I'll go in if you need me to.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh yes!
No! Oh wow!
DM,
We get her hammered. She's the most fucking badass.
Oh my god, this is awesome!
Oh no.
Frumpkin has been a sparrow before. Sparrows don't have dark vision, do they? No. So
It's a night sparrow, he should have
no,
said.
it is a regular sparrow. So
My only concern is if we draw him out, there could be more than us, right? I just want to get a quick peek if we can.
well, I mean, I could send him in there. I probably hit the wall a few times, but maybe if there's any fire or anything.
You wouldn't mind.
No, it's I can always bring him back. But be careful, right? But there he goes.
Yeah, there's no light in there. About 25 feet in, you'll make a perception check for...
We won't be able to see anything through it.
Only fools.
Oh, 21.
21. What faint light is coming in from the interior are you looking through?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. As soon as you come inside, you look immediately. It looks to be about 40 feet in. The shaft widens into what looks to be sort of a common area. You see a handful of tables, some chairs, similar to what was placed in the barricade. Some sacks strewn about, some to be torn open and just scattered across the ground. Some that appear to be kind of just still locked in the corner.
And is that from the light source inside or from some...
No, this is just a very high perception roll with a little bit of light making its way in there, and that's where it goes dark. And there's a as Frumpkin hits a sloping ceiling.
Okay.
It dies.
No, just hits the ground.
Please, no.
Hits the ground stunned, and
Those birds that hit our windows.
yeah.
Okay, well, I think I have seen all I am going to see for the moment, but didn't see anything in there.
Not in that many.
Nothing living in there that I saw.
Not with.
Okay.
That was a little bit Frumpkin saw with a quick glance before it got too dark.
Okay, not, my friend. I think maybe this is a time where you could, please don't go crazy, but maybe go in 30 or 40 feet. There's a room in there, and I don't think there's anything in there, but you would see.
I'm just gonna go in there and get his nose.
I'm gonna bless you before you go. So you can be sneakier.
Hey! Can sparrows hear?
I can hear through my sparrow.
I can bring the sparrow. You can at least hear what's going on, like a walkie-talkie.
That's correct. Richtig. Go.
Okay, I'll take the sparrow and jam it in there.
Wait, somebody. I don't want to get punched in the face while I'm blind. Somebody please put an animal.
Oh, you gotta hold his hand.
Are we going in?
No, he's gonna go to that other place.
Oh. Okay.
All right.
So if something bad is going to happen, just shake me.
I'll punch you in the face.
No, don't do that. Just shake me.
Just
please.
tickle his balls.
No, don't do that. Just.
I'm gonna go in.
Okay.
Punch him in the balls.
You kind of move past the barricades, heading towards the shaft. The barricade, like there's a lot of stuff kind of jammed here at the front, almost like it was barricaded from the inside long ago and then was cleared out partially going through. You make it through about the 35 or so feet of the shaft in towards where it opens up, and you almost trip because your toe catches something and you kind of catch yourself. And you look down to see what looks to be a long piece of rope that was stretched across.
Oh, shit.
That just got tugged and it falls flat.
You didn't see that?
You hear a and with your dark vision glance up and see what appears to be a large log that had been affixed to the ceiling come rushing towards you. Make a dexterity saving throw.
A wee baby rogue.
Great check. Disadvantage.
Did you give him? Oh, that's a
Great check.
Good.
What is this? Dex save?
Dex saving throw. Yeah.
24.
Whoa! With a disadvantage. All right. So you, even in your somewhat hazy drunken stupor, see it just in time and back up as it right past your nose and slams into the wall to the left of you. It hits and you see the dust kind of settle from the ceiling.
Was it the back?
All right.
You guys all hear this from the inside.
Oh.
Okay. It was just wood. All right. What?
I've heard a confusing thing. Something fell down, but okay, we're good.
I think we might have lost an element of surprise.
Is it a bigger space in here?
It is actually. It opens up to be about maybe 35 feet across on side to side, about 45 or 50 towards the end, and then it seems to descend into two different pathways.
Any signs of life? Anything?
Make a perception check.
8.
At the moment, no. But as you're glancing about, you can see that there are bags of supplies that are kind of partially sundered and torn open. You can see tools. Some of them look pretty interesting. There's like a crowbar on the ground across the way. There's other sacks that haven't been spoiled yet. You see like some of the brass is just dry rotted and pulls right apart, and it looks like there might be some useful things in this chamber.
Okay. Real quick, I'll just poke through one of the bags.
Okay, make an investigation check with disadvantage.
Oh, well, then, okay, 8.
All right. You glance through and find a bunch of kind of mildewed rice grain. Right as you hear a...
I will freeze and slowly turn to the sound.
You glance over, and from the right chamber, you see as two gnolls have appeared in the entranceway and have entered up, seemingly called from the sound of the heavy impacting thud on the wall but a few moments ago. They both... No, he's not. She is not, sorry. They both arrive at the top of... They both grab their spears and...
I'm gonna say, help me now, please, help me now, please, save me, save
my life, we have to go in. Here we go.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna draw on fire at one.
Okay. So, as they're both right there, rushing towards you, you say this and you're going to fire at one, the one on the right or left.
The first one who spotted me.
Okay. So, the one that first spotted you, the one on the left. So, as it's rushing towards you, go ahead and fire.
Oh my god.
Okay, 18.
18 hits, go roll damage.
8.
8 points of damage.
11 points of damage because I'm going to use Fury of the Small.
Okay, 11 points of... It hurts, but it's still rushing forward. They both begin to rush and close the gap. The rest of you guys rush in. To get to him, it'll take the full round to get there. So you guys use your movement and dash. And since those of you who don't have dark vision, you can't see anything.
I've uncovered my sword at this point.
Just a faint bit of light. All right, so At this point, any of you with ranged abilities right now would be able to strike, but before you do, two of the gnolls rush in and are attempting to attack the small goblinoid female who has walked into the lair. The first strike, that is going to be a 21 to hit.
Definitely hits.
All
Any
right.
of us.
That is 6 points of piercing damage as the spear jams into your shoulder and scrapes down the front of your chest. And it glances off the rest of your armor, and it hurts, but you're fine. You're still feeling a little fuzzy anyway. The other one attacks. That is going to be a 15 to hit.
No.
No. Okay. That's this one you do see coming and dodge out of the way, but they're both right up in your face right now, snarling. With that, the guys have ranged attacks. Go for
Wait,
it.
so the whole party ran in?
Yes.
So it's happening. The two humans in tandem said, "Wait, let them draw out."
The video playing in the background has a little echo in it.
All right.
Other than that, what part
so
of the armor are
have
you working on
disadvantage on your
today?
attack rolls because you cannot see. You are blind in the chamber.
Initiative, or we're just going?
For this one, because there's just two gnolls at the moment, I'm just going through actions here to keep going. So,
dancing
Guiding
lights.
bolt on the one closest to me.
Eldritch Blast on the other one.
okay, so the one closest to you will be the one that already took damage.
High
from
on
the
the slot.
bolt. So that is a roll for attacks with the guiding bolt.
21.
Don't know why there's this echo. Maybe something with my microphone. I tried to
10 points?
set it
All
up.
right. The one is now taking a crossbow bolt to the throat and is taking a guiding bolt. You watch as this giant blast of light explodes around the
for now it's
kind of
like
yelps,
this.
and it encompasses its torso. This glittering light. Now the next attack against it has advantage. It is
Today I'm
super
working
still standing.
over this body
First
piece.
one, which was a 24, but with
This one.
advantage- it's less, so 24.
I'm trying to do these decorations.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. So 24 for the first roll.
Still hits. Go and roll damage on that one.
Oh balls. That's.
What are you using? You're using
Eldritch Blast.
Oh, it's a D10 for damage. That's a D12.
Oh, that is a 12. Sorry. My bad.
The other character.
Yeah, no.
Old average they heard. 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage to the other one. It gets blasted by the bolt
Okay,
of
when
Alpha
she started speaking, the echo
however,
went
it's
away.
still snarling and currently
Oh,
now they're both
really?
looking over at the sudden
Well,
surge of
that's
power.
definitely my microphone. Because when it was off, it seems it gives this echo. But now I turned it on, and you say the echo gone away. Has gone.
Scary.
All right. So yeah, they rolled an 8 minus. Yeah, it does not make the save.
So it's
I definitely need new headset.
And, which is 3 points of psychic damage and has disadvantage on its next attack.
Got it. Great.
Boom, 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 4 globules of light, dancing lights. The
All
room
right.
is lit
The
up.
room fills with light at this point. So now the chamber fills. You can now see the scenery around you. Not. You're up first.
Oh,
Since
that's
you were the
nice.
first one to get a shot.
I'm the one.
There's one
who's
super hurt, one that's like.
Oh my
kinda
god, what's
I'll
this?
go for the super hurt one, who's right in front of me.
Oh
right?
my god.
What's wrong?
Yeah, that's what this
That's
is
what I'm doing. Laura discovered this last week.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Oh my god.
And it
That's
stays up
bad.
super good.
That's really bad.
So no, they're both right up in your face,
sorry.
snarling.
I'm gonna go to the super hurt one, and just be like, ah, and grab it, and I'll do shocking grasp.
How's that happen?
Okay. So go ahead and make your melee spell attack, I believe it is, right?
Yep, that's a 19.
19 hits.
Okay. I don't know how to do this. Hold on. Is this a 10? No, that's a 10. This is an 8.
That's it. There you go.
7.
7 damage. As you reach up and grab it with your hand, you watch as a burst of electrical arcane energy surges through its body. You watch its veins just kind of
Okay,
pop
I'll leave it as
up its torso to its neck before it collapses into the ground. You have to like duck out of the way before it slams. It would have crushed you if you stayed in the space you were, but you sidestep in time as the gnoll falls to the ground lifeless.
Am I in range? Where's the other gnoll? Is it right on me?
Yeah.
Okay, I will bonus action disengage
Alrighty.
and run all the way around to the other side of the room. if I can.
Okay. Off the other side. All right. As you're doing that, the gnoll that's right there sees you rushing off, but now it's more attentive to the one who blasted it there. It's going to go ahead and. So you would be, I'd say, for the sake of distance here, since the moment you saw, you fired. It probably couldn't close the gap, so it's going to go ahead and drop the spear, pull out its longbow, and take a shot at you from here.
Oh shit.
That's going to be a 14 to hit. What's your armor class?
14.
14, all right. Not a great roll. You take 4 points of piercing damage.
4 points.
It catches you like right in the middle of the sternum. The armor takes the brunt of it, and it mostly just kind of snaps in the impact, but it'll hurt. It'll bruise. All right, that ends the remaining Knoll's turn. Okay, so next up would be Bo.
Oh, are there any in order? Or close to me?
There's one that you can close the gap with. It's the only one that's currently standing in the room. The other one's been killed.
Okay.
It was shot to death by
Close the gap.
No.
And just come at it with a big double swing from my staff.
Go for it.
Finally, a decent roll. 19.
19 hits, gonna roll damage.
When did I fuck
6
this up?
plus 4. So that's 10 points.
10 points of damage. That's enough to do it. It had already been damaged previously by Ford's Eldritch Blast, and you watch as it snarls and pulls out its bow, swings, pulls back, notches, and releases the arrow. Moments after it's released, with a quick movement, burst of action, you saunter up to its side and whoom, hit it across the torso with the stick. You feel 7 different
Watching
ribs
you work
break
on your model
as it
really
doubles
gets
forward.
me pumped to do some work on my sword
You for a second.
and
You take
character.
where the staff is broken in and jam upward to where its lungs would be in it, and then just falls to the ground.
Why don't you work over it?
Shake it off my staff a little bit.
Okay.
Damn, you broke its ribs to get to its organs.
I cut off the ears.
Okay. All right. So you guys take a moment here.
It's an ear jar.
That's an ear jar.
All right.
Our pickle jar.
It's now an ear jar.
It's now an ear jar.
What happened?
We tried
How'd
to
they find you?
Oh.
I don't know. They're very clever. I was sneaking all the way down, and they still discovered me.
Somehow I moved this part inside.
Look at the rope connected to the log.
Yeah. As not saying this, your eyes wander off of her over to the right, where you see this heavy tree covered
Or
in
maybe
jagged bark that's kind of
moved this part,
That
not
happened
this.
after they discovered me.
Right.
Ooh, what are all these bags in here?
I was about to go through them. Do you want to help?
Yeah.
All right.
I will keep an eye.
I don't know.
will keep an eye down the
I'm
tunnel.
not happy with how it is going, so I kinda just stopped working on it for now.
Are there any other entrances? Any other entrances?
And as you're looking, I'm gonna pull all the dancing lights down to 1 and put the rag over it and just walk beside both.
Yeah, I have
okay. There are 2 shafts. Both
also
seem
have
to descend,
such moments when
both kind of curving off in opposite
I don't
directions.
want
They're
to
both
do anything.
have the wooden frame for support. Looking around.
It's the thing what needs some inspiration.
We need a corner and a camera for the corner and a paper hat for you to put you in the corner.
I didn't even react to it. He had to put it on.
That's fine. So yeah, looking around there, it looks like this was kind of a common area. This is the closest chamber to the exterior of the mine. Looks like there were a number of tables here. A lot of them been knocked over and broken. A lot of what would have filled this chamber has been pushed into the barricade you saw up front. But you're helming the investigation, so you're gonna make an investigation check.
No, that was me. Me and
Well,
Caleb.
you guys are looking down the shaft.
Oh, sorry,
You're looking
for the
into
bags.
sacks, yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with this?
Both of the shafts just descend and curve out of view below. They go to a steady like 45
this
degrees.
hit.
I'm helping? No.
Are we? Oh, do I get
You're
advantage because
too
they're
drunk to help, I
helping?
think, right
I was helping.
now. You're looking. As well?
Yeah.
Sure. Take
All right,
advantage.
so
of it.
You're experiencing caution now.
That is not as
It's
good.
not that great.
Investigation.
It's so tiny.
11.
11? Okay. You glance about and you find there's an untapped ale barrel. There's an untapped water barrel. There's a hooded lantern that still has a functional bit of it, though it's only about half full. It's very rusted over, but you clear off the glass on the outside and it'll work fine. You find a sledgehammer that the handle is not so rotted at the point where it wouldn't be functional, but like a fair sledgehammer if you wanted to break any rock or stone. The crowbar that you had seen earlier that can be acquired.
Yeah.
You find a small lightweight rod about that long that has a short piece of what looks like waxed twine hanging from one end.
Okay. Is it metal? Did you say?
No, it's not metal. It feels almost like a hard clay, like a waxed piece of twine on one end.
Can I make a knowledge test to see if I would know what this is, or
You mean intelligence?
That would be it.
Well, is this intelligence or is this what would this be? I was trying to think of like I feel like I might have come across this.
A brain quiz?
You had as good a chance as anybody to come across this. So if you want to make an intelligence
Is it
check.
an intelligence check? I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah, Makuni. Okay. 11.
11. You haven't come across one of these.
Well, I have it. And then the water and
Oh, water jug and ale.
water jug and
Or
an ale
not
jug.
jug, barrel, cask.
Oh, so I can't carry that with me.
No, they're like
They're big.
big, heavy, filthy.
We can put them aside.
You make an intelligence check.
And we will be bringing them out here.
Okay, that's okay. That's Scheiße. Where did it go? Over here, D&D Beyond. It is 10.
10. Okay, yeah.
Very low.
All right. So.
Human, want a lantern?
Oh, yes.
Human.
Did you light it? Is it a lit lantern?
I haven't lit it yet. You can light it. I'll help
It's
you.
hooded, so you can.
I only have
close
one
off the
hand.
Oh, I
light.
can like close it on and off, right? Like one of those things?
Once it's ignited and the oil's lit, then yeah, you can open and close the hood.
I'm one-handed, so I can't really help you light it.
Well, what we got? Are we happy?
Yeah, I found a small rod and the crowbar and the sledgehammer.
Are you gonna carry a sledgehammer?
Is it heavy?
Well, not for you, beast mode.
Did you just
It's
hold
not.
that rod?
You're an
up to
alchemist.
us?
Yeah.
The various
Does
materials
does
and
the
chemicals.
rod look like crudely made or like prettily designed?
Apparently I'm looking it over.
Yeah. It's as you're kind of looking it over. It's not beautifully made. It looks functional. Like a lot of the tools here, there isn't a lot of presentation more than function.
Yeah.
That's what you bring into a mine.
Okay.
Um,
No carving, no glyphs, no nothing like that. Just cake
No.
and shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You kind of take the rod and kind of smell it, and a familiar scent hits your nose. You've worked in your alchemical time with small level explosives. You've, as part of the element of the alchemist's fire, there is a reagent, a catalyst, that when the chemicals mix, it causes a minor explosion that then burns heavily. There is an element of that to that, but it's very, very strong and a very intense scent to it. As soon as you smell it, it brings back memories of accidents that have happened in the past, and you, on a very small scale, and you immediately get this kind of wave of cold shiver down your neck that this is a very dangerous object if used improperly.
Yeah, just careful with that. I think maybe none of us should hold that. Maybe Ford. He seems sort of responsible. No, don't make it a mustache. You know, it could blow up your face. It could blow up your face. Yeah,
It could blow
it's a
up?
boom boom stick. That's the alchemical term.
Oh shit.
I think if you put that near fire, it could go explode. So who wants to hold it who is not Jester?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Give me my pencil though.
Oh, great. Throw a sharp object.
Prop work.
Anyone watching at home, the physics was really demanding on that one.
Yeah.
Well, it seems okay now.
Can I put the sledgehammer on my back?
Yeah. You can sling it in with your side.
The moment I destroyed that
Left tunnel or
part,
right tunnel?
I'll tuck the rod
that
in.
shouldn't be
Okay.
like
It's fine. I'll go down the tunnel and scope it out for us.
Before we do that, we should remember to check for traps, maybe.
Well, seems like it's okay now.
I don't know.
I certainly can.
You can't.
No, I can't.
Oh, you can't.
Can't do
I
anything
can
of that.
look for them.
I won't be able to find
I
them.
can look for them too. I don't know what a trap
Nope,
looks like.
it's
Well, what
not
did that one
okay.
look like that you got hit with before?
Big piece of rope. Probably should have seen it.
Somehow,
Maybe like crossing the ground.
All right.
it's more low than
This
it
is an opportunity to
should
grow,
be.
and we look
Lower
for those
than
now.
it should be.
I will make a mental note.
Great.
Look for big pieces
Yeah.
of rope.
Anything that looks
Crossing
out of the
your
ordinary,
path.
out of place, on the wall, on the floors.
You know, just have a peeky poo around.
Are
as
you still
go.
I'll have
shithouse?
a peeky poo.
Are you fucking hammered still?
Don't tell me what I can and can't drink.
You know, she does this from time to time. She becomes a little unpredictable. predictable, but you can't argue with the results. You really cannot.
I kind of like her when she's like this. It's good.
Okay. She gets another shot.
You want me to go ahead again?
Yeah.
Which one are we going down though? There's two entrances.
There are
aren't
two
there?
paths, yes.
I'll go down one, just a little ways, and then I'll come back.
You should actually stealth though this time, okay?
I will stealth. I'm gonna stealth
You have a blessing.
and search for traps.
Okay, let's make a stealth check first.
Advantage.
Oh, good.
Your stream is lagging a lot now.
Something.
Well, with advantage, but then disadvantage from the drawing, so it's just a straight roll.
So the first roll?
Yes.
13.
Okay, good to know. And then you're gonna check for traps?
Yes.
Make a
I think it's lagging on the moments when I move
Disadvantage?
this model. It's very hard. Too many polygons. And when I move it, the stream begins to slow down.
All of the checks.
But if I hide, for example, this
No,
part
I did the math wrong. It's 10.
and this
I'm
part,
drunk, guys.
you see?
Okay.
Left.
The left, okay.
I knew.
I love
Do we want to check air current, temperature, nothing? Anything?
Yeah, little drafts or anything like that. Nothing.
You don't.
Yeah,
sense
that's
any
when it
draft.
starts to lag.
The air is pretty stagnant, actually.
Temperature equal on both sides.
It seems to be. The left path, you do not notice any traps, anything akin to what you stumbled across as you entered. It does seem to
I see.
descend and curve out of the way, but begin to snake a bit. You get about 15, 20 feet down before it begins to rapidly curve left and right. It's maybe about 10 feet wide. You can continue if you want, or...
No thanks. Okay, I'll go back and report what I've heard, or what I've learned.
This model already has 16 million polygons, and it's not the end.
Tabs on footfalls in here. They're both...
I need to I need to do a lot more stuff with it, and I think it will be somewhere around 20 million polygons. And the hair is it will be very heavy part.
What are we doing? What did you find out on that way?
It just keeps going and starts snaking and...
Well, actually, I think I will do.
Streaming on the same PC you use for Brush.
Alright.
Yes, yes.
Here I go.
I have graphical ZBrush, and the stream is set up on my monitor.
Investigation is 13.
With disadvantage.
Because you're hammered.
Yep. 13.
Okay. All right. You begin to curve down the right path, and there is what looks to be a slight depression on one side that you glance over and look, and it looks like some of the burlap that had been torn from sacks earlier in the tunnel had been used to cover what looks to be a 3.5 foot wide pit that has been kind of laced over to hide its presence.
It's just burlap over a pit in the ground?
Yeah, it's affixed with a couple of rocks on the sides. It's very light and would have fallen through. It only covers part of the path. It's like the tunnel is about 10 feet wide.
That's strange. I didn't notice the moment when I moved this part inside the model.
This one does not snake. This one just continues in what looks to be a continual curve for another 40 or so feet before you.
It's overlapping here.
From your friends, you can continue if you want to.
It just keeps curving and curving.
It looks like it's going into almost.
I
a
need to
downward
fix that.
spiral.
Oh, a downward spiral. Okay, I'll go back and report what I saw.
Great outline. All right.
So true.
All right, so one path goes wiggity woo, and the other path goes yippity jow.
Were there any traps?
No traps. Oh yes, there was a trap.
Oh my god.
To be fair, there was one trap. I thought you meant any sprung traps. There was a trap. It's
you sussed it out.
I sussed it out. Don't worry, I'll take care of it.
How far down did you go each way? About
40 feet down the jiggity jow.
Horse brush. And drawing I use a separate PC, and use my main PC to stream what's on the other PC.
My instinct tells me that if there's something there that they would trap it, so probably more valuable if we're going on nothing. Take the path that is trapped.
I agree.
Here.
So smart.
Unless they want
But
us to
for
choose the path
such
that
a way of streaming, you need to make a local network. Am I right?
You would think that.
Oh, reverse psychology.
So you could connect these two PCs with each other.
Pathway to the
Trap.
All right.
Right path.
As you all slowly begin to descend
I think
down
my
the path. We'll come to that in a second.
PC would work faster if I upgrade my CPU. I think I'll buy it maybe in June or July after I from the vacation. I'm going to Bali on May this year with my fiance.
Space for your dice, for your pen, place for a mini or eraser or anything else you want to carry to the game, and it fits into the dice box that comes with it as well. So
And when I return,
during the break,
I'm going
to enter
to
this
upgrade
break,
my
you go to the
PC.
Twitch chat and enter
I
when
hope
you're prompted the
this will
code
help.
word NOLL. That's GNOLL. Do not enter it more than once, or you'll be disqualified. And we'll come back from the break with 2 winners to this. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys here in a minute.
2 roads diverged in the yellow wood.
And sorry I could not travel both.
And be one traveler long I stood.
And looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth.
I shall be telling this with a sigh.
Nice, I wish I could go on vacation.
2 roads diverged in a wood, and I
took the one less traveled by.
And that.
And that has made all the difference.
Yeah, this part fucked up also. Jesus Christ, when I did this.
Hey Twitch viewer, didn't see you there. We here at Geek and Sundry appreciate your viewership and your
I hate
subscription.
such
But did you know that if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can get a free subscription to a single Twitch channel of your choice? In fact, you might even have an Amazon Prime account and not even know it. It's a proven fact that 5 out of 5 Amazon Prime account users have Amazon Prime because they simply forgot to cancel their 30-day free trial. So, put that free 2-day shipping to use and subscribe to Geek and Sundry. But remember, you have to resubscribe each month to your Twitch channel of choice, which is kind of irritating, but you know, it's ultimately not our design. So give Geek and Sundry a sub, because you know, we did shoot this fake PSA.
Hey there, critters!
Oh no, we can't use that word. That's their word.
Hey, Critical Role fans! Are you tired of watching the same old professional-looking show featuring talented people?
Asinine Wisdom!
No, not yet. Then we have the show for you.
Asinine Wisdom. That's right, and we at Asinine Wisdom are having a going out of business fire sale.
That's right, Daryl, and tell them what a fire sale is. Do you know? Everything must go. Bad attitudes, snarky comments, stupid theories, even worse ideas, vaguely offensive comments, and uneducated guesses.
Yeah, even all this stuff.
Hey, wait. If it's a fire sale, do we get to set something on fire?
You can't light stuff on fire.
That's right, we're going out of business!
Yeah!
And who's our guest, you ask? These people! It's a battle royale!
To the death!
You can't kill your guests.
So come on down to twitch.tv/Geek and Sundry.
Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Pacific.
It might be our last show.
Every show could have been our last show. Asinine Wisdom!
It's an acid 10 out of 10.
Hey there, champ. If you've been watching Geek and Sundry's Twitch channel, you might have heard of this thing called Alpha. You may even be asking yourself, what's Alpha? And you know what? You're not alone. Trust us. With the promo code ALPHA60, first-time users can experience 2 whole months free of the premium content the Geek and Sundry team has created with deep love and passion at the expense of a lot of blood, sweat, sanity, and the occasional personal relationship. So head to projectalpha.com and enter the ALPHA60 promo code and proudly proclaim that you are not a robot. Oh, and thanks for your support.
Watch Alpha!
Hey guys, it's me, Whitney. The cyberpocalypse can be a lonely place, but there's no better cure for loneliness than a dinner party. So on today's episode, I'm gonna show you how to throw the best dinner party ever. Step 1. Pick a good group. No drama. You want to make sure everyone at the party is gonna get along. Step 2. Make sure you find out ahead of time whether any of your guests have any food allergies. Having trouble getting the party started? Prepare a playlist to set a fun, casual mood. And finally, when it comes to the evening's menu, stick with what you know. So there you have it, guys. That's how to throw a dinner party. Next week on Adulting in the Apocalypse, we're gonna learn how to remember. Well, that's not good. I bet it only gets worse from here. Be sure to check out the grand season 1 finale of my show, Thrashtopia, over on Alpha. I pulled out all the stops for you on this one because my pals Marisha, Liam, and Taliesin of Critical Role fame stopped by to tell me all about D&D and the End of Days. They're totally different now and very scary, but I'm sure you'll still love them. It's at projectalpha.com, so go, 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 go!
Hey there. Let's chat about spoilers. No one likes them, right? But sometimes, the players of a popular RPG show like interacting with their audience after a show on platforms such as Twitter. If you don't want to let a spoiler slip in, no sweat. Simply mute the hashtag. Just go under the Privacy and Settings tab on Twitter, go under Notifications, and then mute the hashtags you don't want to hear under muted words. See? Much easier than yelling at the cast in 280 characters for talking about a show that they were literally just on. Just don't forget to unmute the hashtag when you get all caught up so you don't miss all the fun. Oh, wait, you have to, use the hashtag, though. It's the only way it works if we all use the hashtag. And don't forget to unmute.
I love those arts. Jester is my favorite. I'd like to sculpt her in the future. At least to try. This character is most annoying. Jesus Christ, I hate him. Others are okay. Not the brave is interesting character.
You drew those?
No, of course not. That's a YouTube program, Critical Role, and they show fan-made characters of their actors.
Oh, LOL.
Oh, Fat Jester, that's something new. I remember then I played Baldur's Gate years ago. Oh, no, not Baldur's Gate, Torment, Planescape Torment. There was a character named Anna. She was my favorite one, and Jester somehow reminds me of her, and maybe that's why I love her so much.
And welcome back. So, we have our two winners in the chat.
Anna was cool.
Congratulations on winning the
Torment was cool.
package to Ding Zero ATX and Luna Imperial.
I still think it's one or maybe the most interesting setting.
ASAP. So well done.
The sigil was awesome.
Yes. All right. So, you chose the right or the left again?
The right.
The right. Okay. So, down the path, the shaft winds for about another 150 or so feet before it slowly levels out into what seems like a long chamber of multiple levels. What once looked like a solid mining vein is now strewn with bones and flayed skin pinned to the rock walls with scavenged nails. Blood spattered across them with intent painted a jagged smile of sharp teeth on each of these four hides. A faint source of light in the center flickers. What looks to be a small stone...
How do you turn off this brush screensaver?
...in the central leveled platform. It looks like about...
I simply tap on my graphical display when my
I really hate when it pops up.
And it turns off. I don't know, maybe there's a way.
Smaller than the other gnolls.
I think you can find it on ZBrush Central, or how is it called, their site. Pixelogic.com. There is
Alright, so we'll
instructions
say
for
this will be the front
ZBrush,
of
and
that.
I think
Perception.
somewhere in there
5.
it's possible to find a way.
11.
Okay. So you don't see much of the figure, but also right now, have you guys all do
It
stealth
doesn't
checks
bother
to make your way down?
me for now.
No, he has advantage now. Sorry.
That's okay.
22.
I will have to look it up.
9, 10.
22.
15.
Okay. Okay.
No.
So,
Looks like this is the wrong path, everyone. We should probably go back to the other path.
this figure looks gnoll-like. You see the ears and the snout, but as it reaches down and picks up these wet stones and places them on the altar, giving small, dark, muffled barks and kind of shape-leaping sounds, you see elements that look like smooth human flesh. And the more that you focus in, you can see this looks to be a humanoid figure
fuck?
that
Why
is
is
wearing
not-
pieces of hollowed-out gnoll-like
Oh,
armor.
fuck. Why is
A
it
hood,
here?
missing a jaw that is emplaced over the top of the head. Sections of arms worn like a glove with a hand missing, sifted through. It seems that a lot of the body parts are discolored and rotting a bit from what you can see from the candlelight that's flickering across it. You see long, bone-like spines similar to what adorned the armor of that pack lord that you battled in the middle of the city last night, are also affixed to the outsides and kind of pierced through elements of the shoulders and head of this flesh gnoll hide that it's wearing. As it growls, mimicking the sounds of the gnolls that it seems to be residing along, the other gnolls around kind of look, kind of pacing from foot to foot, impatiently, kind of begins to speak louder and louder at this altar as it places a final wet stone on it. All the remaining gnolls begin to bark in unison together. And they all at once leap onto the altar and begin tearing into the stones, which are not stones. They were glistening, at this point you see, hearts that are now being torn and swallowed by the gnolls at the altar.
Kill them all.
They finish.
Well done.
They finish devouring the hearts, and the humanoid figure begins to bark a few more times. And then a broken common says, "The hunger will be fate, ours and hers." Come, and points to two of them. Help me carry more meat below. The rest, stay. Feast on what remains. And turns around, and you now look across the way on the other side of the chamber, darkened. You see a gnoll leaning in familiar armor. The one that you had battled and had left with the carts is just watching from the far end of the chamber down on the lower third level platform.
The big Mama Jamba?
The weird kind of gnoll priest, I guess you could say at this point, that's been helming this little ritual, goes and joins the armored gnolls and steps aside and follows second, and the two gnolls that were assigned by it leave as well, leaving 4 in there in the chamber currently.
Including the armored one or no?
No, the armored one leaves with the priest.
So can you describe any sort of light source in here that they're working by?
The candle altar.
Candle altar.
Yeah. It's not extremely bright light, but for those of you who are human, it's enough where you can make out shapes once your eyes have adjusted to the low light interior. You watch as they begin to grab the bodies in the ground. You can see there are now the grinding of bones as they begin to drag broken corpses across the floor and begin to just tear into the torsos. Just
I'm going to cast very quietly. Cure wounds on, not next Because I saw you're bleeding, yo.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
What does that do?
You just regained 9 hit points.
Ooh, 9!
This is getting ridiculous.
You watch as 4 hyenas kind of fill into the space where the gnolls are and begin to just sit at bay, kind of waiting for the gnolls to finish feasting. One of them kind of gets close, and the gnoll kind of just grabs its head, shoves it against the wall, and it snaps into the wall and backs up and then waits its turn. You can see the other hyenas that exist in this space. Naturally, scavengers have to wait, being at the lowest of the totem pole.
How many total?
So there's
4 gnolls and 4 hyenas.
And the one that got thrown to the wall just got like stunned or hurt. It didn't get any.
It didn't seem to be too much, more than just keep it away from the meal.
Yeah. You know, they go down very quickly.
I'm afraid if we keep waiting, more will just show up.
Let's kill that.
Here we go.
We're just gonna go? There's no plan?
Well, maybe we can draw a few over to us and take them out on our terms.
If we're planning to engage, should I show you the layout of where they're placed?
He says coyly. Would you like to see the layout of the room?
Whip it out around together. I don't like it. 7 on 8. I'm not a fan.
7.
Yeah, but they're little. The hyenas are little.
Oh, Yasha's with us, right?
The hyenas are just doggos.
Yeah, they got like 4 hit points.
Yeah.
You can take out 2 of them in one go. If you were,
God, those
grown.
smells are
Okay, so here we have.
Oh, 1's an archer, 2's an archer, 3's an archer.
They all tend to carry a bow on their back.
Shit, 4's an archer.
You can see now the hyenas that are waiting patiently. This one got knocked into the wall. They're just kind of scooting at the sides, waiting for them to finish their meals. You guys are right up here where the shaft opens, kind of glancing down into this chamber, and that was where the priest and the other gnolls had exited.
We're up on top up there?
You guys are up on here, which for the purposes of...
Yeah, we're
Good thing we're metal.
That's fine.
I mean, I hate it, but...
Is there any way to even the playing field a bit? Any strategy for it, Caleb? Come on.
What about the broomstick that you have?
Oh, wouldn't that be really loud? Wouldn't that draw something?
Yes, it would, but
What's better than mine?
It might bring the whole thing down.
Yeah.
Maybe we could use that to escape later.
Yeah,
There's a big
definitely.
column that's in between it, right?
Correct.
Is it a column or stalagmite?
It looks like it was a stalactite that then was reinforced as a column to help kind of maintain the structure.
I mean, if we can bring some sort of distraction, get their attention, and we can put our heavy hitters, our, people up front, we can kind of try and hold them in this mouth, range people in the back.
Do you want to throw the rod at the column?
No, I feel like we should do that when we're leaving. Like, we shouldn't do that before we go in, because we're not going to be able to get to anything.
There's another path down.
Well, yeah, but this is very loud. It would draw things up here.
Yeah, and then we go back to
where would you want this distraction to be? Because I can make a little...
behind them and make them turn away from us, because we're in a fatal funnel up here at the top.
Yeah, I can make a little dancing golden person of light appear down at the bottom of the passage.
There's no
All the way here?
One goes away in the chamber.
Your Seymour are going to keep coming.
He goes over and kicks one of the hyenas off to the side. Just kind of sits there.
See, now I can try the other way. Yeah, if there's more in there, they're just going to come in here anyway.
And it's not
I
confirmed.
genuinely feel like we should go the other way.
The other way? There's nothing in it. This is it. This is the other way.
There's a whole other path.
Nothing.
No?
That's nothing.
How do you know?
No, I just am guessing.
Well, here's the question. Do you think these things are going to come out of here right away, or is that worth a shot? Maybe there is a way around, to a way they're not expecting?
Normally, miners build coal mines with connecting shafts and double exits in case one side collapses, you always want another way out. We just don't know where they've put everybody. We're here looking for villagers, remember?
You know, but there's nothing saying we have to run in here. If we're not feeling this, we can backtrack and look in the other direction. In fact, I'm leaning that way.
Can we... Hey, Matt, do you have a
Yes.
question?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of... If we were to try and, like, back out of here and draw them towards us, what would that be? Just a tunnel?
Yeah,
This tunnel is just it's a 10-foot wide tunnel that continues backward.
Also, we do have a map here.
There's no.
There's 9. 1, 2, 3. We've got these guys. 7, 8.
We can try attacking them, and if it gets bad, then we use the TNT.
Yeah,
D&D?
The longer we wait, the more things are coming.
Maybe it's the whiskey talker, but I think we've got these guys.
Oh, fuck.
Yes, if you wanted to, moving backward here.
I see.
Here we can continue the tunnel just back this way. So
I mean, it's only like a death funnel if we're the ones dying, right? If they're dying, well, we're good for us.
How far is it? Just on the map from like where we're standing to the farthest knoll?
the farthest knoll there. About 60 or so feet.
Definitely.
We can definitely do a distraction to get some of them to turn away from us. At least we get a round in.
Yeah.
Get a surprise round.
Little golden person dance behind that guy there.
Surprise round. Get a surprise round on all of them.
Surprise round, get as many range and AoE spells off as we can.
Well, AoE surprise round. What are you talking about?
Be helpful. Can I use this planning moment to cast armor back at this on myself?
You may.
Spectral frost collects from the air on my armor.
There you go. There you go.
Which, as a note, to remind you from last time,
I didn't give myself enough cold damage.
Correct. Yes. Keep that in mind.
Okay. Are you gonna try your thing or should I try my thing first?
What is your thing?
Well, I don't know. I could try something. I could do a similar thing. Just have them see something behind them. But you could do the same thing.
Correct.
Yours are already cast, right?
Not right now, no.
What
But
do you-
it's like that. It's easy, this one.
Okay. I could try to get one of them to fight with one of the other ones of them.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
Do that.
Okay. I'm gonna sneak up to down the steps to that little crook in there.
I'm gonna cast.
A little further back, yeah. Is that all right? Do I have to roll or anything?
Roll a stealth check.
Oh shit. Okay. With disadvantage?
Well, do you still have to
No, you
give?
still have less.
Oh, so 26.
Okay.
Okay. That puts me within 30 feet of those guys, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And what are they doing? Eating hearts?
At a closer glance, you look and
Or
see
anything?
one of them currently is holding what looks to be a pair of legs that are no longer attached to a torso. And it's just like stripping the flesh from the thigh and leg. And it's just like tearing into it and takes like a piece and chucks it off to the side. And the two hyenas fight over it. Another one back there you can see has clutching what looks to be like a scapula and the back of a shoulder blade, and it's just kind of like breaking the bones in half and like sucking the marrow out. It's at a quick glance you get the sense that some of these may have been denizens of Allfield as of 24 hours ago.
So I'm going to start throwing up again soon, so let's either do this or backtrack, please.
Are they carrying anything on their bodies, on their person? Anything, canteens or weapons or equipment or anything?
The gnolls?
The gnolls.
Most of them appear to have some sort of a longbow slung over their shoulder and have a spear that kind of dangles off to the side, has been jammed in the ground next to them.
Okay, guys.
While he's doing it, I'm getting ready and I'm doing this. And I'm gonna cast mirror image of myself.
Duplicity, or are you doing mirror image this
Mirror
time?
image.
Okay.
Let's all agree that if this goes bad, we run. And we can try and... Yeah.
And suddenly there are
Who can make
three.
fire? You can make fire.
How many?
Caleb.
3 me's around myself.
Be very careful with it. If we need to close it off, light the tip of that little wick. And throw it.
Are we going right now?
Oh God.
Are any of them holding anything that they put down for a second, or they got it firmly in their claws?
The one that like breaks and sucks the marrow out of one of like the large kind of shoulder blade areas kind of takes and grinds the teeth against it, like scooping out whatever's inside, and then throws that piece onto the ground next to it, then takes the arm and begins to like splinter the middle of the arm bone and try and get the marrow out of that.
Okay. Can I mean, are you going to do your
You're about
thing?
to go? No,
Well, I don't know. You tell me.
No,
Yeah,
you
do it.
All right.
I just want to, before I'm going to really quickly mutter a few arcane words, and then there's another Caleb sort of blinking in front of me a little bit and behind me a little bit, and it is hard to see me at the moment.
Are you casting blur or are you casting mirror image?
What are those words?
I want to know for my own sake.
I don't care.
Can I kind of get into like a little bit more a place
Blur.
with Bo?
It's blur because I have 3 duplicates and you only
this
have
kind
like
of
a
drops kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Because I just cast mirror image.
Not. Stealth check.
And does your spell have concentration?
Natural 20.
So there you go. You're concentrating on a spell at the moment. So Bo, you quickly like leap and land with no sound, cat-like reflexes, and in the ground.
landing.
Your foot does kind of slide for a second as you glance down and looking where you stepped in. It looks like there's a bit of leftover pieces of people.
I kind of just.
All right. I'm going to whisper a couple words and use Mage Hand to pick up the little piece of shoulder blade he dropped and throw it in the face of the other guy.
Okay. It slowly lifts, and one of the other gnolls is eating. The one goes. And they just go back to eating.
They don't care. Thought they would kill each other. I don't know. That was it. That's all I got.
A little halfling-sized person of light appears behind the knoll at the far end there.
What is it? What are you using?
I'm using dancing lights. You can use the 4 lights to make a little person, a little humanoid shape of light. And it is doing a little Macarena behind the knoll all the way.
Over that way?
Oh, yeah, I have 120 feet of range, so yeah.
Right, and that spell is not concentration.
No.
Right, okay.
Yes, it is.
So you would lose
But I
your-
would know that.
You would know that.
So I'm not going to do that then.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Because of my keen memory that Caleb has, but not Liam.
Smart move taking that.
I'm going to turn around and whisper to Caleb, "Are you going to do the thing?" But I'm using message so no one can hear us.
How far is 30 feet from us?
Are you going to do the thing?
All those steps.
If not, then let's just fucking.
If not, I can do my thing.
I send
my God.
Frumpkin through the chamber and down and starts battering into the walls here.
Smart.
As soon as Frumpkin begins doing that, you watch as the one that's nearest on this side, the one that had dropped the arm piece earlier, takes the bow off its back and begins to notch an arrow, looking around. He's going to take a shot at the bird fluttering through. That is a 17. What's Frumpkin's?
I'm sure that hits. We'll say, yeah.
Can I just attack?
No.
6 points of piercing damage. The bird goes
And no one else.
Giving them warning.
on the ground and then
No,
dissipates.
Dissipates.
Do it.
You watch
Right now
as,
we go.
as the 4 hyenas suddenly rush in towards where the bird had fallen.
Okay, that's good.
Now the one behind, this one rushes in, and they all go to the spot where it landed and find just an arrow lying there. And they'll kind of just.
I cast spiritual weapon above the 2 gnolls
Oh boy, here we
directly in front of me.
Yeah, we're gonna kick it off.
So the range on that is.
Range on that is 60 feet.
Yeah, so you're placing it where? Right there?
Right there. And it's just gonna giant lollipop down and smack one of them in the face.
Alright, which one?
This one, the one on your left.
Okay. Alrighty. Go ahead and roll spell attack.
Ooh, 19 plus whatever.
Nice. Good roll damage on that. That definitely hits.
That is 9 force damage. And that's my bonus.
Damn.
And then, oh well, I can do a cantrip. And then for my action, I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame with the same dude.
Same dude? Alright, that is a 15.
Oh, he saves. So is it half or?
What kind of a check was it?
That would have been his dexterity saving throw, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Must succeed. So it probably just doesn't.
So yeah,
do
no
any
damage.
Okay.
Okay, so that ends your turn. Alright, everyone else gets one action, and then we roll initiative and enter the...
Can I run down the steps and hide behind a barrel like it's gonna make any fucking difference at all?
Sure.
You don't get to hide though, but you're there.
Yeah.
You're standing next to a barrel.
Next to a barrel.
Alrighty. Who's up next?
I'm ready.
Alright, Ford, what you got?
You point to one of them that is not undead. Just looks like a regular gnoll, or I can just pick one. Regular
You can
gnoll.
pick one. All of the gnolls in here look like regular gnolls.
Great. Did you aim at that one?
Okay.
No, I aimed at the other one.
Aim at that one, yeah.
Okay, I'll take that far one.
Alright, what do you do?
Can I focus and summon my falchion into my hand?
Yep. It appears into your space in looks to be a burst of kind of dull greenish blue fire, and there you see it dripping with salt water across its blade. What do you do?
Can I use my bonus action to cast Hex at that right gnoll?
You may. That one is now Hex. You watch as the gore that's been dripping from the front of its body seems to almost roll up its torso in reverse before it slips into its armor and grasps itself. The darkened, shadowed gore now holding it in place as the Hex curse.
Can I reach back and fire Eldritch Blast into it?
You may.
Okay. 16.
That hits.
16, 10.
Plus 1d6.
6 plus 4, 10, 1d6. 15 points of damage.
15 points of damage. That one it immediately drops what it was eating as the blast slams into it as it's confused by the wrapping of the hex, and as it reels and kind of almost stumbles onto its back, its foot crushes one of the nearby skulls, and there you see this like gaping wound in its chest. The armor's been sundered, and now there's this smoking plume of black and horrible shaded smoke pouring from it.
Can I use my distance to move over here if I may?
15, 20, 25, 30, that's as far as you can
Great.
get there.
Am I in your line of sight, Jester? Anybody need that?
No, you're fine.
Okay. You?
Nope.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do something weird, and I hope it works and doesn't fuck the rest of us.
Never could tell.
I'm gonna move up kind of right here next to Ford.
20.
40. That works good there.
20 there.
Let me go like one more just so.
Alright, 25.
That's good. And then, can I reach in my bag and grab out, in my little pouch, grab out a handful out of my 1,000 ball bearings?
You do have 1,000 ball bearings. I remember that.
1,000 ball
We had money. She bought a lot of fucking ball bearings.
1,000 ball bearings.
Yes.
All right.
And can I take it and just kind of like, you know how you can kind of like take your pocket and kind of flip it inside out and just have a bunch of ball bearings kind of go ting, 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 ting across this
You
way?
hear what sounds like hundreds of tiny metal clanks in succession as ball bearings begin to just spray down the stairs and scattering across the floor of the central makeshift ritual room as they kind of run through the various semblances of gore and the areas of the stonework that are exposed between. You have spent your action scattering.
Action?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a key point, and as my bonus action, take patient defense.
Okay. Nice. So
That's
as soon as you empty those out, you get back and go into your defensive position, preparing for any sort of assault. Caleb.
And the effect of that hasn't taken place yet, correct?
The ball bearings in this moment are now clattering down into the ground.
Okay, did Ford hit one successfully?
He did, yes.
That same one, I'm just going to firebolt it from. Yeah, that's
Roll
my
for an attack.
Firebolt. So that is an attack range guy. Plus 6, that is a 15 to hit.
15?
15?
Yep, that hits.
Yeah, okay, and the damage
Just
is
barely.
7.
7 points of damage.
Yeah.
The one that you had hexed suddenly goes up into flames with a and falls back onto the ground.
And I will use my movement to back up about 15 feet just outside of the chamber.
You are just there. Alrighty.
As the flash of red light arcs from his finger and kind of lights up the path before it impacts and kills the gnoll, Caleb then steps back into the shadows, trying to get out of the way. Not.
Oh, I get a movement. I get a turn as well because I did the mage hand thing. Is that?
Yes, but that technically did not initiate any sort of combat.
Okay.
It just bothered one of them.
Mildly.
A temporary inconvenience.
Okay, I will. Sure, I'll send an arrow down into the one that Jester attacked.
Go for it.
That is the 23.
23 hits. Good roll damage.
9.
9 plus your sneak attack.
Oh, this is a sneak attack?
Because you were stealth, it does not know you're there. 14, alrighty.
Rogue, best class.
That one, the bolt goes through the center of its forehead and embeds itself right up to the very, very back. You watch it and just falls onto the ground, kind of over one of the pile of corpse pieces it was tearing through, becoming one of its meal. And
crouch back and hide.
Okay, so you can make a hide check to try and disappear back there. Stealth on that one?
Advantage, but disadvantage.
Yeah.
Right? So 16.
16. Okay. And you did your thing, Molly.
I'm going to creep out against the wall closest to me and try and hide in one of these coves over in the corner as far as I can get into the. It's about like
you can get right into the same kind of the similar space.
Perfect.
As not there.
Does he see me?
I would say barely. Barely.
Hi.
And since I'm too far away for anything too crazy, for at least for I don't really have a good bonus action. I will use my Devil's Tongue. I'll use Vicious Mockery on the gnoll that's currently kind of in between. Not the one that the one that's actually the one that's furthest from us because it's going to be the archer.
Yeah.
And I'm just in in Infernal. I'm just going to say, I'm too disgusted to think of anything clever.
All right, roll the natural 1 on that saving throw.
So yeah, that's
Every time he does that.
that's 3 psychic damage, and he has disadvantage on his next attack.
Good to know. All right. So now, everyone, please roll initiative.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Wow, really? Do I have to roll with disadvantage? This is Dex or Intelligence?
It's technically a dexterity ability check, so it would be disadvantage, yeah.
2.
So 6. That is so sad.
All right, so 25 to 20?
23.
23.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, yay!
Ford, what'd you get?
4.
Sorry, so how it's called?
Who else
Natural
is
20 was it?
Above 20?
I thought somebody else would.
So 23.
I did, but I got a disadvantage.
Right, yeah.
Oh, no.
But wait, don't you have advantage with...
On stealth.
Stealth.
Only.
For stealth checks? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay. So Molly's up first. It's a fun little initiative tracker thing from our friends at Axe and Shield. We're going to see how that helps out there. All right, so...
I was 23.
23? 20 to 15?
17.
17.
All right, well, the Knolls roll a natural 18 plus 1, so they're at 19, so Knolls are next.
Oh, the Knolls are next?
Knolls are next.
Gotcha.
And then both of you guys are at 17?
Yeah.
All right.
Just the blankies.
All right.
God, I'm shaking.
All right, 15 to 10.
13.
Jester got 13?
Yeah.
All right, 10 to 5.
6.
6.
Oh, I'm before.
The hyenas are before not.
Okay.
Then we have Not, and then we have Ford. All right, so Molly, you're at the top of the round.
God, that's awful.
God, that's bad. I don't think I even fucking spelled it right. I think I botched that all across the board.
That's fine.
I spelled it hyenas.
Hyenas.
Gets the idea across. The special hyena.
Hyenas.
What you got, Molly?
I'm going to get a little. I'm going to. Oh, can I do this? No, I can't do that.
Fuck.
I know. I'm so sorry. I should have my shit together. How far is it? 5, 10, 15? Oh God, it's too far to walk. I'm going to try and get one little crevice. Actually, I'm going to hold my position. Actually, I'm so sorry.
Hold your position.
I'm going to hold my position and just use one more one more.
Yeah,
tongue on one of the other guys.
All right, natural 20 on the saving throw.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
so no.
Sorry.
So. And I'm holding.
All right. All right, that's your turn.
Yeah.
All right, the gnolls are up first. These two here are going to pull out their bow and begin to fire at Bo. Ironically, since you had been the first to kind of appear at this point and gather their attention, they both have disadvantage on the attacks. That is going to be a 11.
Miss.
The other is a 2 14s in a row, so that would be 18 to hit.
Oh, hit. With this.
Oh, 17 to hit. Sorry.
Hit.
Yeah, all
17
right.
is my armor class.
So that would be.
This is with a bow?
Yep. That's gonna be 10 points of piercing damage.
I'm going to like kind of cat paw try to catch the missile with deflect missiles.
Okay.
What do I to do is spin? Oh wait. Oh no wait. This is a key point.
Well, it's a key point to throw it back.
Oh no, it's a key point to throw it back. It's just a reaction. It's 1d10 plus 7. 9 plus 7, so 16.
You catch it in middle air, reduce it to no damage.
Fucking dope.
I just hold it out like a microphone and go. Ting, ting.
Cling. As you do that, the one on the bottom of the ground, who's closest to you, grabs the spear off the side of the wall and runs up the stairs.
Someone hit the ball bearings?
That's what I'm gonna make. We'll dexterity check to see if it can do so. That is a. It does succeed. It's a 15. It kind of slips, but it manages to make its way up the stairs.
I just kind of laugh at it
Yeah.
as it comes at
Coming
me.
in-
He looks so stupid.
Into combat with both Ford and Bo. Is going to go ahead and leech at you with that. It's going to be a 16.
Miss.
16 misses.
I'm going to stop the stream
After you drop the
for
arrow, you kind of parry
maybe
from
an
the side
hour.
back into your defensive stance.
I need to eat something.
All right, that ends.
So I'll resume in an hour.
Now that comes to Caleb.
Yeah, I can see from where I am, I can see Ford and Bo with one of these things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to just firebolt right from where I am.
Okay, go for it.
That's it.
Roll for attack.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
It strikes part of the stone altar, splintering candle wax